Today we're going to look at some custom Magic the Gathering cards. Let's see all the wackiness people have invented today. And we're going to start off with something useless. Useless junk. It's crap. We're starting off, it costs nothing, and do you know what? It keeps its cost. You got what you paid for. Tap it. That's it. That's all you can tap. And what do we have here? It looks like the junkyard of some sort. Do you know what? Someone's junk could be somebody's treasure. Is there any way to break this card? You can sacrifice it. It's a 0 mana card. You can add to your affinity count by having an extra artifact on the battlefield. What else can we do with this card? It does tap. I don't know if that's so relevant for anything. Maybe you can give it an ability or something. I don't know. Tap and untap shenanigans. That's maybe we can untap it with Tezzeret or something. We play our useless junk, tap it, untap it to trigger other cards that care about tapping and untapping. Well, it's perfectly legal. There's nothing broken about this card whatsoever. And if we look at our bingo card, we don't hit anything on this bingo card. Nothing. You can't get rid of this. You most definitely can get rid of it. Recycled old mechanic. Yes, tapping. The tap symbol. As old as time, but it's not going to count here. Is it really useless? It's not useful. I will admit it's the only 0 mana artifact that has no ability that still taps. So it's got that going for it. Other than that, like Mishra's Bauble and Urza's Bauble, they also do. They do a similar thing, but they replace themselves. All right, next up, let's take a look at. We got the Earth Eater. I can't tell if it's an Earth Heater or an Earth Eater, but I think it's it's eating. It's coming out for that Earth for lunch. 4 mana artifact. If you would draw a card, instead exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card, then put that card into your hand. Oh, it's like Cascade, but for spells going into your hand. You may play lands from among cards exiled with Earth Eater. That's actually pretty cool. So this is like a weird form of card advantage. It basically says you're not flooding out for the rest of the game. And all those lands that you exiled with the Earth Eater, you actually get to play them. It can happen. It will. So it's card advantage at the same time. Yeah, never miss a spell. I wouldn't say you always get a land, because if there's no land on top, you immediately go right into your card, which is pretty good. That is pretty cool. That's very original, all right? That's an original card. Now, does it hit anything on the bingo card? Did I improve anything? Not really. 5 words a name, is it? No, it's only a one word a name. It's very original, but I don't think it hits anything on this metric over here. All right. You think it's very strong? It is good. Like I'm not gonna downplay it. I think it's very good, but it's 4 mana at the same time. Like you're paying for quality here, all right? You're paying for quality. You know, also is 4 mana, the One Ring. Do you think this is better than the One Ring? I think not. So it's basically One Ring at home. Are we starting another 3-hour stream? I hope not. But you know what? I don't decide these things. You guys decide these things. All right, where do we start this off? I believe this is a winner. Okay, we'll look at series cards after the sponsored segment. But before that, let's look up some cards here. Elixir, the Calm After the Storm. Calm After the Storm is a single white for an enchantment. Whenever a spell you control doesn't resolve, draw a card. That is interesting. So this is like, what's it called? What is that? There is a green enchantment. Whenever you target a creature in play, or maybe it was a merfolk, you draw a card. This is basically that. So you have this enchantment in play very early. You got to get underneath those counter spells. And then if they want to counter your spell, you're actually going to cash in on it. Oh, no! Anyway, there is a problem here in that if you... Like, you're down a card to put this in play, so the very first card that gets countered just replaces this with that. So you actually need 2 cards to get countered before you're getting ahead. But are you really getting ahead? The stuff's still getting countered. It's like, I don't know, it feels like you're getting value while still getting screwed. So while I do think that this is a very original playable card, I don't know if it's going to do what you want it to do. Use Chalice of the Void with this as a draw engine. But then it's just cycling your cards, right? So yeah, please counter my spell. I don't know if anyone's going to be happy that's still going to happen. I'm telling you, hey, as a person who plays counter spells and to people who try to get value out of them, like, what's it called? With Voice of Resurgence, for example, if I got a counter, if I got to do what I got to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to counter your spell, and you get to draw just a random nonsense on the off of the top of your deck. Not to mention, you paid mana for that spell. You lost that mana. You're not going to get that mana back. Maybe you gave me the mana with Mana Drain or Rewind or something. Welcome, Light Code. Like filling up the graveyard and drawing cards. Maybe there's some. I mean, if you can put this in a deck that uses the graveyard, maybe you can make that work out. I see a potential combo with Shells of the Void and 0-cost spells. Sacred through the deck for free. How to exploit? Not sure. Step 1, get Chalice of the Void in play for 0. Step 2, have no lands in your deck. Step 3, play useless junk to draw through your entire deck. That's exactly how you do it. There, we broke useless junk. All we need to do is play the Calm After the Storm. Very unique card. Very, very cool. All right, back to the freebie section. We got Liminal Space. Liminal Space. It's a land. Oh, it's a Wastes. Or is it just another Wastes? That's it. It's been done before. We've been here. It's just not. It's not a. Oh, is it like a non-basic Wastes? Is essentially what it is. Bingo alert, discussing the rules. That's specific. Maybe something else. Did we really discuss the rules, though? I don't know if it's so specific. What rules did we talk about? It's not the rule. We were talking strategy. Strategy and rules are 2 different things. Yeah, it's a non-land. It's a non-basic Wastes, effectively. It's based on the back rooms. Oh, is it? What does liminal mean? Oh, you and I, Demanger, we are in the same boat. I have no idea. Hey, full disclaimer, and I 100%, I'm completely open. No shame saying this at all. I don't understand what half the Magic the Gathering cards mean. I'm learning new words all the time. They're really reaching for new design space for the names. Not like they're running out of possibilities, but they are starting to overuse some words. Harbinger of this, harbinger of that, harbinger, and then master of this, master of that, master. So anyway, they got to reach for new words, combine them with old words. We use space a lot. Luminal space. We're gonna have dark space, light space, warp space, empty space. Time to make a backroom series. Got to make the backroom series. Live and let live, please. My super chat sent without text. Oh, okay. I'll get to you then. Okay, we'll get to you right after this one. Thanks so much, Belle. Luminal space. All right. I mean, yeah, sure. This is an easy pass. I don't know who wants this. Like an Eldrazi deck? Do they just not have enough colorless sources to cast their colorless Eldrazi? Oh, it's not good enough that you don't have just wastes and snow-covered wastes. We now need a luminal space on top of all of that. Liminal, occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or threshold. I was in a liminal space between past and present, or relating to a transitional or initial stage of a process. Well, that could be either of those things. We might be going through a process of getting through that door. There could be an Eldrazi on the backside of that thing. There could be a whole new dimension. There could be a dimension on through any one of these doors. This is the multiverse. Expect the unexpected. Okay, let's take a look at Michael Canham. Thank you very much for your super chat. By the way, what the hell was it? Michael Canham. Where'd I lose you? There you are. Live and let live. As opposed to live and let die. There we go. We got live and let live. It is a black, white, white 2 generic enchantment. All spells cost 2 less to cast. Spells your opponents cast that target you, your graveyard, your library, or anything you control cost. Why don't we just put that at the front? Spells that target anything you control cost an additional X life to cast, where X is that spell's original mana cost. Did we hit all our bases? Spells your opponents cast that target you, your graveyard, your library, or any... I guess, yeah, anything you control is fine. That's worded properly. I was just thinking, you know, we should have a bingo space. We have things like, that's so specific. We should have the opposite. That hits everything. Anything you do. Anything you do that targets me, it's going to cost you life. And also, oh, wow, that's interesting. All spells cost 2 less to cast. So everybody. So everybody's cards. My cards and your cards. Now your hand. Oh, we didn't hit. Yeah, we don't hit the hand. Hand is free. Which is very funny because this is a black card. You would think that it would also be able to target the... Or it would still also count for things that hit your hand. Where's Paul McCartney when you need him? Live and let die. Well, this is the opposite, though. This is the live and let live. You don't target hand without targeting a player, though? Oh, true that there. 100% will. Will there. With the rules, now that was a rules discussion. Discussing the rules. That qualifies. Yeah. We learned from Will Anderson here. You can't attack the hand unless you attack the player. Bam, got him. Cards that target the hand usually hit the player. I think every single time you target a hand, you target the player. Sometimes you can make everyone discard cards, but then you're not really targeting the cards themselves. Okay, what are we doing here? What do we say about this card? It's 5 mana. After all that, is this even playable? I mean, okay, all cards cost 2 less, and then they cost an additional X life to cast, where X is that spell's original mana cost. If it targets your stuff, your graveyard, your library, or anything you control. Okay, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. So effectively, we're dropping the price on everything. Inflation in Magic the Gathering, it's coming down. But you're gonna have to pay with your life. All right, we need that alternative currency. I take Chuck E. Cheese bucks around here. In this case, you're actually paying with your blood in some capacity. Destroy target hand sounds like an uncard. Oh yeah. That sounds like you have to discard your entire hand because it blows up. Directly to graveyard. And then that opens a design space. We could regenerate target hand potentially one day. I swear there was an AI generated card that destroyed target hand. Yeah, you're probably right, Wally Winker. I don't doubt it at all. All right, cool card. The live and let live. Next up in the freebie section, we got Spider-Man. I guess with the Marvel series coming out, it's just in time. Everyone's got to get in these cards. Was this revealed? I can't remember. Maybe it was just the X-Men. No, I think there was a Spider-Man. Anyway, it's Jeskai 1 generic, 3/4 human hero. It's got Thwip. Whenever is that Thwip, like when he's like throwing out the spider web? Whenever Spider-Man is blocked, you may untap it and remove it from combat. Whenever Spider-Man is blocked, we're talking about Spider-Man removing it from combat. Tap and stun the blocking creature. Ah, okay. Okay, so we are removing Spider-Man itself from combat. Web Slam! We got tap, choose 2 targets. Stunned creatures. Those targets fight each other. Duke it out. We're getting an illegal cockfighting arena going on over here. I see the irony in me saying this, but I hope you've learned not to hit people. Oh yeah, because Spider-Man hits people as well. Spider-Man should naturally have reach. He is a spider. You know what? You're probably right there. I mean, you know, it's hard to nail everything in flavor. It's hard. Wait, does he have a bagel in his mouth? He's got his He's got his photo. He's got what the hell is going on here? It's like he's spell slinging in a subway while eating a bagel with the camera strapped around while holding a coffee. I can't imagine balancing a hot cup of coffee while like swinging through the air or underground or anything. Yeah, everyone's got to head to work. Got to report to J. Jonah Jameson. Should take a picture of him. Should take a picture of himself with the bagel in his mouth. Breaking news: Spider-Man, like everyone else, eats breakfast on the way to work or whatever. It's a mini donut. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Does anyone eat donuts for breakfast? And I guess so. Try to always get my coconut donuts from my Tim Hortons, but they don't make any more after 3 p.m. because they say everyone in the morning took them. So I guess people love them donuts. Okay, let's take where's an individual super chat? We got, did Elixir get one? I can't remember. Elixir, sunset at dawn. Just a reminder, everyone, we're going to get to everybody's super chats. We get the smaller ones in the beginning, we get the bigger ones second halfway, and then we get the smaller ones at the end. Okay, so black, black, white, white, 2 generic sorcery. Draw X cards, where X is your life total. You can't draw cards for the rest of the game? That is insane. What kind of payment is this? So you draw X cards where X is your... That is a lot of cards for 6 mana, though. You can't draw cards for the rest of the game. If you brick on Reliquary Tower, you're screwed. Like, you're just screwed. You're basically going to discard the hand size, and you just have to make the best with what crap you have left. Steve Cooper usually skips breakfast. Do you want... I'm basically in the same boat. I have breakfast between 12 and 1 p.m. I had my breakfast just a few hours ago. Makes it still feel like it's the morning for me, even though it's the afternoon. 6 mana, draw 1 against mono red. Yeah, actually, do you know what? That's right. 1-on-1. You're probably close to dead by the time you play this thing. But in Commander, it's got to be busted. Like, it absolutely has to be broken, right? It's 6 mana draw, probably 30. Like, I mean, it's on a similar power level as Yawgmoth's Bargain, except that you actually don't pay any life. There's no way that this card is fair. No way in hell. Commander is not really magic. Oh, it's magic, all right. It's very it's just completely unbalanced and unhinged. That's all. It's like vintage. It's vintage. It's vintage multiplayer, effectively. You just need a card that says whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. You do actually draw the cards. I guess this is where you need an Orcish Bowmasters in play. You need an Orcish Bowmasters, Shield Dread. Again, I guess Elixir thought it was fine. You know, there's so many cards that balance this thing out. Come on, why can't we print this thing? It's what they printed Orcish Bowmasters to offset things like the Sunset at Dawn. What do we hit the bingo card for? We got a bingo. Old mechanic you can't. 5+ words at name. Waifu card. Learn grammar. 4 single color mana. Oh, 4 single color mana. Oh no, but that's the same one. 15 dono. You heard chaos more than 10. I'm not sure what the hell this is. That's so specific. Too much X. Oh, it's got a lot of X. We got 2 X's. More than 1 is a lot. Effectively. We got too much X. More than 1 X is usually enough. Unless it's XX, then that's fine. X this to get X that. That's a lot of it. Seems pretty weak to me, as you have to drop all except 7 cards, and then can never draw anymore. Maybe for self-mill. Well, okay. This is how much different is this from Yawgmoth's Bargain, and that's banned. That's been banned. That's banned in every format. All right, we're talking. It's banned in Legacy. It's banned in Commander. It's restricted in. No, it's not restricted in Vintage. I think you can play all 4. Just play Necropotence. Well, see, you don't get the cards immediately. Here, you get them immediately. No money down. No money down. All card draw. Don't you need to need an X to define an X? Yeah, we draw X cards where X is your life total. Whatever your life total is going to be. In Magic the Gathering, we use the word X. We could have N there, you know. Draw X cards where N, or sorry, draw N cards where N is your life total. We just don't do it. Hold on. I have no idea why you play this instead of Necro Dominance. Why not both? Nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with filling your deck up with Necro Dominance, Necropotence, Sunset of Dawn. It should have been the Necro Dawn or something. Got to keep that Necro thing. Or the Bargain of Sunset. Even though we're not bargaining anything. But does this card make you immune to milling out since you can't draw cards? Well, it doesn't matter. Your deck... Okay, you have like... Well, how much life do you have? Like, you probably have like 35 or 30 life when you cast this. You're just drawing 30 cards. You still have like probably 60 cards left in your deck. You can probably still draw cards with Necropotence and stuff like that. My biggest problem with this is like you have to discard to hand size. So you're going to draw a billion cards. And then if you don't find Reliquary Tower or some way to use all your cards, I mean, you're just screwed. It's a complete waste. So anyway, I do believe it's broken, though. In my opinion, it is broken. I think drawing that many cards so early, too much. Okay, we're gonna do the impossible. Okay, it's an artifact. Tap, add snow, energy, Phyrexian colorless. I don't even know how you add that. Oh no, I guess you just add the mana. Phyrexian colorless, Wooburg symbol. It's getting progressively more confusing. A chapter counter. I don't even know what that is. Is that a ticket? And then +1 loyalty to your mana pool. Do we have something for incredibly, incredibly illegal? What is this supposed to do? Chaos? Yeah, there we go. That's a Chaos Ensues, if I ever saw one. 100%. Chaos Ensued on this card. Boom. I'm too confused. What did the poster use? I don't know what it is either, but it's a hand drawing another hand. Only one is valid mana. That's true. No. Well, I mean, I think you can have the snow and the Phyrexian colorless. Although you don't know what that would pay for. Nothing is Phyrexian colorless. You literally pay Phyrexian everything. Yeah, it is a bit bizarre. Can you give the loyalty counter in the mana pool to a planeswalker? No, you can't. You most definitely can't do that. That's not allowed around here. All right. Do the impossible is actually just impossible. They want to break the rules of the game. The game says no. Will Anderson with Boon of Hours. But you only pay $2. You get a shout out to the Boon of Hours. So that's how it works now. If you underpay, I give you a shout out. There's the Boon of Hours. Because the price is right. Like, here we have the new rules. $5 per card. You can't go over more than 5 cards. The show is going to 3 hours. I can't let it go any further. It's just too insane. Okay, next super chat. We'll go to We Done Need Badgers. We done need every single time I read that, I can't tell if I'm losing my mind or not. The Orzhov tax lawyer. Whatever the hell that is. Very fancy, I would say. Very, very fancy. We have a black-white 2/2 human advisor. We got ward. We got sack and enchantment. Whenever an opponent activates or triggers an ability, add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to pay the cost of activated or triggered abilities your opponents control. Okay, so this thing's okay. First off, it's almost impossible to get rid of because how often do you have an enchantment that you can just willy-nilly sacrifice? Whenever an opponent activates or triggers an ability, add 2 to your mana pool. Oh, this confused me. It looks like a cost. It actually should be worded. It should be worded in a way where it's just a 2, right? Oh, if it's colorless, it actually needs to be the colorless symbol. like those 2 diamonds. Spend this mana only to pay the cost of activated or triggered abilities your opponents control. That is so... Okay, that is insanely specific. There's like it's not often that you're allowed to pay the cost of your opponent's stuff. Very, very niche and specific. All right, so we nailed that thing on the bingo card. I'm confoozled. Well, there are some cards out there. There's some cards out there that say like activated ability is this. Any player may activate this ability. So the Orzhov tax lawyer effectively says, if you trigger anything or activate anything, I get 2 mana, and then I can use that on your... I can spend that mana to pay the cost of activated or triggered abilities your opponents control. But that's the thing, is I need to be allowed to do that. If I can't do that, I'm screwed. Oh, you think you can pay that for Ward? The 2 mana, spend this mana to pay the costs of activated or triggered. Oh, you could be right. Yeah, maybe I get the mana. And there's some ward costs that are like pay mana. You know what? Yeah, that's a great call on that one, Gabe. 100%. It's to pay ward costs, which are often colorless. It's all coming together. Look, there are actual... Look, it also said activated abilities, okay? Spend this mana to pay the cost of activated or triggered abilities your opponents control. Triggered is the ward. The activated, you literally have to be able to control their spells effectively from your side. Couldn't you use that to pay for Smothering Ties / Rhystic? Probably. Oh, yeah, you could do that too. Rhystic Steady. Look, it's balanced. That's why we're the tax lawyer around here. Okay, it's a pretty cool card. Not broken. Also incredibly difficult to get around. Will Anderson, all right, you paid up. Let's say the $5 total. Thanks for the great analysis. You're welcome. I didn't even analyze anything. Boon of Hours. Okay, we got a blue instant. We've got Replicate 3. Well, it's pretty hefty to replicate this thing. After the current phase, target player takes an extra draw step and an extra pre-combat main phase. After the current phase, target... That could be you. It's still the current player's turn. Isn't that just broken? Aren't we just, like, basically taking another turn here for 1 mana? And you could replicate this. After the current phase, target player, which could be you, takes an extra draw step and an extra pre-combat main phase. Oh, it's only a pre-combat main phase. No, but you get the phase. You don't get to untap, though? What? Well, that doesn't matter if you got vigilance creatures. All of a sudden, Nikachu came up with good card analysis. Well, here's the thing. When there's less cards to analyze per show, we can go a little deeper on them and have a little bit more fun with them. So you can ramp. Oh, there we go. Look at that. This blue 1 mana blue rampant growth broken. That's an excellent way of looking at it. It's basically 1 mana explore. Sorry, not explore, not rampant growth. So it's just a single blue. You draw again. You can even attack again if you have a vigilance creature, and get an extra land drop in play. Because do you, after the target player takes an extra draw step and an extra pre-combat? No, we're only taking a draw step and a pre-combat main phase. Okay, forget that. Okay, backspace. We're screwing this up. Okay, this is I didn't read the card properly. I was a little influenced by chat though. Well, where is Nikachu? Where's Nikachu can't read cards? There we go. So you can't actually get an extra mana out of this. It's not happening. It's not your turn. Well, why not? I can play this on my turn. After the current phase, target player takes an extra draw. I could play this at upkeep. It didn't say target opponent. It says literally target player. Does this count for no one knows what this card does? That's also possible. No one knows what this card actually does. I have a feel even the creator of the card has no idea what they've unleashed on all of us. Right, but no extra land drop. Yeah, there's no extra land drop for the turn, but you can play this on yourself. You get an extra draw step, and you get an extra attack, and you can replicate the damn thing. This plus vigilance creatures. I mean, you're at least cycling. Yeah, I mean, you're at least cycling this thing for 1 mana. But I mean, I appreciate that it's been balanced in a way that you don't get the extra land drop during the main phases, because you only get the pre-combat main phase and the draw step. We need a bingo space for the answer is right there in chat, but Nikachu refused to look at it. Look, I gotta take a gamble, boys and girls. I have to. You guys write a lot of stuff in chat. I just gotta take a random pick or choosy sort of thing when I look at chat. I try to prioritize the green names these days, but it doesn't always work out like that. It has a potential to stall a game with infinite mana combos. Ooh, how is that possible? Is this just slightly more confusing Quicken? No, it's slightly cheaper Cycle. No, it's not. There's a lot of Cycle cards for 1 blue. If you play during opponent's turn, you can drop a land, so it is basically a better growth spiral. No, but you still don't get... No, I don't know what you mean by that. Play it during the opponent's turn. You're still only going to get a draw step and a pre-combat main phase. Does this mean we can attack on somebody else's turn? Because we get the whole pre-combat main phase. Yeah, you take actions during an opponent's turn so you can drop a land. No, but we don't... all we're getting is a draw step and then the combat phase. That's it. You only get to play lands on your main phase. Main phase 1, main phase 2, but we never get there. We don't even get combat? No, you don't get a combat, which you just want the pre... Oh, okay, now that is definitely... where's... You can't... Yeah, I really can't read the cards. So we're getting the main... So we can cycle... Okay. This whole analysis is stupid. This is just super explore. So, I mean... You can't have super explore. It's basically for 1 blue, you get an extra land drop and draw a card at the same time. I would not put it as super broken, but insanely pushed. Insanely pushed. Too pushed, I would say. All right, you heard the music. That means it's time to thank our sponsors. My favorite time of the day. Thanking the sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. Now, Magic the Gathering Foundations is going to set the new foundation for Standard going into the next 3 years. And if you want to set the next Standard in your Commander decks, or even Standard decks, I suggest you buy from FusionGamingOnline.com. You might sound like I'm biased, and you know what? I might be, because I love this place. I've been buying from there for like way over a decade, and you can start buying from them too when using coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases, whether it be sealed product or singles. And we all are also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You like to be creative? Unlock your creativity by renting any number of decks, any combination for any combination of formats on Magic Online. We're talking Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, 1v1 Commander, Pauper, Pre-Modern. Get it all with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. All right, back to... Okay, let's get one more freebie in there. And then it's going to be Super Chats or us. Or... Oh, this way. Elixir, your card was coming up next. What are people saying about your card? Hopefully just good things, of course. Only the best. It's with the free bingo spaces. Oh, the free bingo space. That you heard the music. Are we close to bingos? No, we got a lot of threesies around here. All right, moving on. Insurance. Make sure you have insurance, people. Dish it out. It's better to pay little now than pay a lot later. 0 mana. I'd like to say my insurance costs that much. Insurance is white. Oh, yeah, because it costs 0. Okay, if you would lose the game, instead exile insurance and you lose the game. Okay, but have you considered simply passing away? Oh, is this like a play on the insurance in the United States, health insurance? If you lose, you lose, and even if you pay, you lose. I thought I paid my premiums. Yeah, but you paid your premium, but now you got to pay this enormous deductible, and then it doesn't cover all your medication. There's the exceptions over here, all right? Exceptions. Insurance is a scam. Well, it depends who's in charge of the insurance. So it sounds like, and probably from the United States, it sounds like a scam. But if you talk about like car insurance in Canada, it's like monitored by the government. It's pretty cheap. The government can be in control of it, then actually can get really cheap. If the government's not in control, it can be very expensive. Oh my god, yes! This should have commutative upkeep light code. What a banger comment. That's the comment of the day. There is no such thing as comment of the day, but I'm calling it now. It could be the comment of the year. Technically, this is about insurance in Canada because it's free and bad. Well, hey, it's still something. We don't pay squat. No, I shouldn't say we don't pay. We pay taxes. But I'm not going to complain about it. Look, as a Canadian, I always look at these people plowing the snow at 2 o'clock in the morning. This gigantic 8-foot snow in Canada. I don't want to do that. I'm very happy to pay taxes for this stuff. So anyway, yeah, I would say I do get more than I pay in for insurance in Canada, especially when I was younger and I had no money. Nikachu was broke. Here, please take my $5. I just got in and out scot-free. But dentistry will cost you up the wazoo. Yeah, but this card is 0. This this should cost 10 mana. It depends where you're from. So maybe this is the Canadian insurance. Free enchantment, ETB trigger, I guess. Oh yeah, what does this do? So if you would lose the game, instead exile insurance and you lose the game instead. Basically does nothing. Do we have a basically does nothing slot on this thing? No? Do we count this as a mechanic? Recycling? This is like... I don't know if we call this a mechanic, but like the whole concept of like the card is like a color, even though it's 0 mana, that's old. That's from the pacts. I don't see that anymore. It is an enchantment. It's very funny that it's a white enchantment. Canadian insurance would have suspend 5 or something. Flavor text, you get what you pay for. You could say that. Anyway, as a Canadian, I'm not gonna make big complaints. No big complaints here. Although I have not desperately needed to use my healthcare on the same way. I'll tell you what I do. I go to the dentist a lot, and that is not covered by the Canadian healthcare system whatsoever. Okay, let's start looking at some series cards, starting with Winter Fox. It's the Cyber Zone set 4. Of course, Winter Fox always here early in the morning. Cyber's Zone set 4 to get them custom Magic the Gathering cards in. And of course, the finest of all finest. Oh, oh yeah, okay, so you're paying for all 3 of these. All right, let's take a look. We got the ALS 00, the Annihilator. This is a 0-1. Oh, there we go. That's the Winter Fox that I know. The 0-1s that cost 7 mana. An Arcana A Operative. It's got Vigilance and Indestructible. Every 0-1 Winter Fox crates is indestructible. This is more than a waifu card. This is like, what is this? Anime kitty waifu? What is that called? It's got to be a name or something. You can always count on Winter Fox to have a waifu card too. Okay, if an opponent sacrifices a permanent, ALS 005 Annihilator deals damage to each opponent equal to the sacrificed permanent's converted mana value. This is like a weird, different thing of Annihilator. Annihilator deals damage to each opponent equal to the sacrificed perm's converted mana value. And then for 2 mana, tap ALS 005 Annihilator phases out. Why are we calling this thing Annihilator? Is this a Nako waifu? Bingo alert. Waifu card and new creature type. Oh yeah, the Arcana A operative. That's true. True story. New creature type. We're getting pretty. We're going hard on the bingo card today. We might cover the whole entire sheet. You should either say converted mana cost or mana value, not converted mana value. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. That is, you know, I've read so many custom cards that are templated wrong that I can't even tell anymore when something's actually templated wrong. So anybody, it's still like literally a 7 mana 0/1. It's funny we have a 0 power creature with vigilance. Like, what are we gonna even do? We're not even dealing any damage. It's completely irrelevant unless you need the attack trigger for some reason. So anyway, this card can pass. Just needs a little bit of templating fix. The Chancellor Electronic Claymore of... I don't remember this Greek symbol. Anyway, it is colorless, 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 blue, blue, blue. For an art, it's an equipment. It's a Cyber's tool at that. Equip Cyber's creature has +1/+0 and gains Annihilator 1. Oh, actual Annihilator. And equip for 2 mana. Honestly, I think it's weak. I think it could be a lot stronger. This is literally 8 mana to turn something into a crappy Eldrazi. It's possible it's fair. I'm trying to think, like, maybe it does cost like 8 mana to give something Annihilator 1 or Annihilator 2. And then it's like 15 mana when you want to get to like Annihilator 5 or 6. Is this supposed to be more than 5 words in the name but got cut off? Maybe. Only 4 as far as I see. Oh, it's a lambda. Yeah, that's a lambda. I remember that from some statistics classes. My professor was like, this is lambda. Get to know lambda. We're going to see lambda a lot today. I don't even know what we were using lambda for either. Oh. Haven't taken statistics in a million years. Everyone knows it's a lambda. Everyone loves statistics, I guess. If Mole Drifter left a brownie, I suppose so. All right, very fair. Not broken. And then we got the Cyber's Traversal Backdrop. What is that? Like, it's literally the backdrop, like it's a scene. It is a land, spelled very funny. Firewall 3. Oh yeah, it's ward N, but it can be paid in any combination of blue and colorless. And also for a blue tap, target Cyber's creature you control has +1/+0 and haste until end of turn. I actually think this is fair. This counts as your land drop, doesn't add mana. You need an additional mana in play to give something haste. Huge color pie break, though. I mean, it doesn't get any more color pie break than a blue, it appears to be a blue card giving something haste. Oops. Do we have, like, massive color pie break? Stop in the name of the color pie! That's illegal! No, we don't have anything like that. Doesn't exist. Yeah, haste for blue. If another Mole Drifter left a brownie. Lambda is kind of like X in equations, but for matrices without getting that much into it. All right, thanks for reminding me. Oh, matrices! I'm scared. The pie violation should be a bingo space. Probably. Work on it for Ginkgo. Work on it. Although the problem is, everyone breaks the color pie. Land or like dark matter lands? I have no idea. Lambda is commonly used to denote half-life in physics. Don't see it too much in other places. Oh, and then maybe I'm confusing it with physics. Maybe I'm confusing it, or maybe I'm thinking of some statistical equations that are used in physics. Okay. Anyway, this card I also think is fine. Because it's we're basing on power level. I'm not a flavor judge, alright? I'm not gonna judge you on your flavor. Okay, next up, let's take it's the damn draws. Performer Monkeys. Performer Monk. Oops, okay, I should monkeys. Ooh, ah. Starting off with the Monkey Morale Maker. I guess gonna go out there and make some money with that accordion. Look, behold, my baby playing an accordion. That'll be $10. Okay, this is a green 1/1 monkey performer. Green, tap. Enchant and... What do you mean enchant an ape or monkey you control as if it was bestowed? Oh, okay. So activate only if monkey morale maker is an enchantment creature. Why don't we just call this equip? Because that's literally what it is, right? This is like equip, like just a very funny way of calling this equip. Because you're also bestowing, and then if the original creature dies, this thing leaves. It's basically an equipment creature. It's an equipment creature, not an enchantment creature. And then roll a 6-sided die. Enchanted creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the result. Activate once per turn and only as a sorcery. Literally is just equipment. There's like no reason to call this a bestow creature, except that it's technically an enchantment, so it counts for enchantments. You wanted repeated bestows? Does that matter? You can repeatedly... Well, I mean, you can equip as many times... Oh, no, but it can be an equipment creature is what I'm saying. Just like what we already have. All right, whatever. Can this be possible? Sure. They made equipment creatures, so I guess we can have our enchantment creatures. Okay, Merrymaker Duo. 4 mana for a 3/8 monkey performer. When Merrymaker Duo enters, choose up to 2 other creatures you control. Those creatures can activate abilities without tapping up to a single time each turn. Oh, so my Llanowar elves, or even if is it 2 other creatures? Oh, yeah, it's just 2 other creatures I control, so they can already be tapped. So I can basically ramp this thing out, and then 2 of my mana dorks that ramp this thing out, target them. I get 2 extra mana from them. I think this is cool. We have more people talking about Lambda. Lambda is used all over, like unnamed functions in computer science. We got a lot of mathy people in chat. I didn't expect like half of chat to come out talking and rising the good word of Lambda. Yeah, and green too. This is actually quite good. Green has all the good activated abilities. And we got a guitar. The Loser Monkey. Just dreaming about one day making it big in a band, but really just sitting at home playing tunes, drinking by themselves. 3 mana 2/2 Monkey Bard. Other creatures you control are also monkeys in addition to their other types. Everyone's a monkey. Basically, we're all monkeying around. Very, very metaphysical. Okay, or sorry, metaphorical. Opponents can't cast more than 1 non-monkey creature per turn. So basically, okay, other creatures you control are also monkeys. Opponents can't cast more, but they'll never play a monkey. It's not like this was specified as a, what's it called? Mycosynth Lattice, where even the opponent's cards are monkeys in hand. In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. This card isn't this card just bad? Other creatures you control are also monkeys, but opponents can't cast more than 1. Oh, sorry. No, I'm reading this completely wrong. Okay, this is great. Okay, so we have the monkeys. That's good. But the opponents can't cast more than 1 non-monkey creature. Non-monkey. And which, of course, they're not going to be playing any monkeys. It's like non-artifact, basically. Yeah, Phyrexian Censor, but for the monkeys. Loser Monkey should be Simic lore-wise. Really? What makes it black? What makes it Golgari? Limited only creatures so they can cast other spells. Absolutely. It's completely fine. Yeah. 100%. Okay, next up, let's take a look. A Morbid Panda. Thank you very much for your super chats. Ravenloft set part 7. Spellslinger is it theme. Ravenloft. Spellslinging is it theme this time. All right, let's take a look at them is-its. The Hazlic Dark Lord of Hazlan. It's a 6 mana 4/5 human wizard. Now, you can't cast instant or sorcery spells from your hand or your graveyard. Well, you're not selling me on this card all of a sudden. When Hazlic Dark Lord of Hazlan enters, you may exile any number of instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard. You may cast them for as long as you control Hazlic. Oh, okay. So this is basically some pseudo huge card advantage spell. And then also once per turn, you may cast a spell you own from exile without paying its mana cost. Once per turn, you may cast. Okay, honestly, super fair. Nothing super illegal about this card. I mean, you could put into play, exile a bunch of cards, and then nothing happens because they kill the Hazlick. Giant Otter says, sorry, but to say what I usually watch the AI streams, and AI seems to be more creative with their designs, a lot of those. Well, it's the AI. They're taking over the human race, effectively. Also, they just post the most busted cards. People here, they have to try to balance something, or I'm going to give them the buzzer, all right? Remember, on the AI show, we buzz everything, basically. People take the satisfaction that they can design something equal to Wizards of the Coast. Okay, next up, we got the Yal Skygazer. This is a 4-mana 3/3 Spirit Wizard with flying. When Yal the Skygazer enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Whenever you draw your 3rd card or cast your 3rd spell from exile each turn, create a treasure token. I honestly have no idea how you break this card. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. So it's a big looting card, which is totally fine. Yeah, we can't all be as creative as Tap. Look at it. Look at the Skygazer. What else to say? Whenever you draw your 3rd card or cast your 3rd spell from exile each turn, we get the treasure token. Yeah, that seems good. That's good stuff. The Ruzello, Ambitious Archmage. This is a 4-mana 5/4 human wizard. First strike. When Ruzello, Ambitious Archmage enters, discard up to 3 cards, then draw that many cards. That's actually insane. That's a lot. So we're basically switching our hand out. It's like a mini Wheel of Fortune, and it's still a 5/4 for 4 mana, which is pretty beefy. Whenever you discard your 3rd card, which is immediately, right? Discard up to 3. Oh, you can discard up to 3 cards. Whenever you discard your 3rd card or cast your 3rd spell from exile each turn, create a treasure token. I think this card's broken. Broken maybe is a bit strong, but it's very, very pushed. I don't know how you balance this damn thing. Maybe don't give it the treasure token. Would this... I'm just trying to think. If it's modern or legacy, would this see play? Maybe not in legacy. Maybe modern? Maybe I'm overrating this discard thing. Discarding 3 cards, drawing 3 cards sounds like nuts. Almost like a dredge-like ability. And also, when you discard 3, you automatically get more mana. So it's so it's basically a 3-mana card, effectively. Yeah, maybe bringing the power and toughness down is possible. Maybe that's the solution to this thing. Interaction with the 3rd card is really interesting idea. I mean, I think it should be discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards, and then you have to work for the 3rd card. Because this card it basically triggers itself. Nikachu fixing cards. Also, the community fixing cards. Improving a card. Boom! Ooh, we are very close to a lot of bingos here. We are getting we're getting along there on that bingo card thing. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a bit pushed. There's something wrong about this. It's like it's very similar to there is a 3-mana 3/4 flyer ETB, discard 3 cards, draw 2, and this is just like, I think it's just way above, beyond better than that. Okay, Tame the Chaos, 4-mana instant, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast spells from among them for as long as they remain exiled. As at the beginning of your next end step, put any spells not cast this way into your graveyard. Oh, a Storm Player's Dream. I think they would absolutely love this card. You may cast spells from among them for as long as they remain exiled. Yeah. Probably. I think it's just fine. It's basically pay 4, draw 5 in exile. Oh, but there's no time limit. Among Us. Something a little sus from among them. Now I'm trying to think. Maybe this is 4-mana, draw 5, and it's like really broken. At the beginning of your next end step, put any number not. Oh no, it does go to the graveyard. Okay, that's totally fine. This is 100% legal. Not broken whatsoever. Hazlan, legendary land. Hazlan enters tapped. Now, tap add a blue or a red, or tap add blue, blue, red, red. Activate only if you have cast 3 or more spells this turn, and activate only once per turn. I think that is fine. It's not even an island or mountain, so you can't even search it out. When you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. So I guess the idea is, what are we trying to make Storm? Or are we trying to bring Storm back? Do we need to buff Storm around here? Who's buffing Storm around here? Storm getting a lot of help. You know, when Storm died, I don't think anyone bled any tears for them whatsoever. Storm just sort of ran away with their tail between their legs. It is a legendary land. This is a Storm land. It looks like the last few cards were all Storm-like. Someone is a Stella Lee player. I have no idea what that means. Like the mechanic? Yeah, it's got some potential. Rattle off a bunch of spells, get a lot of manas. Okay, who do we got next? We're gonna go next to the Nova Space Wolf. We got Yasu. This is just one card. Yasuo. Oh, here's all your cards. Return cards to owner's hand. Frostbite equals reduce creature's power to 0 until end of your turn. We got a new mechanic. The Frostbite. We got a two-sider. It is Yasuo the Wanderer. This is a 3-mana 4/4 for blue? Is blue like the new green now? Human Ionian Samurai. First strike. When Yasuo the Wanderer is on the battlefield, when a creature you don't control is recalled or stunned, Yasuo the Wanderer deals 2 damage to that creature. I think you don't need to say, okay, this is redundant to say that when it's on the battlefield, like the ability doesn't matter if it's not in play. Like if it's not there, it means nothing. Oh, we got 5 words in a card type. 5 words in card type. 5 words. Oh yeah, there we have 5 words in name and 5 words in card type. Damn. It's from Legends of Runeterra. So basically, this is redundant. It should just say, when a creature you don't control is recalled, which I don't know what that means, or stunned, Yasuo the Wanderer deals 2 damage to that creature. And then we have, while Yasuo the Wanderer is on the battlefield, if 5+ creatures have been stunned or recalled by spells. What the hell does recall mean? I learned that too late. While on the battlefield was redundant. Already did about 3.5 out of 5 sets. We're gonna love the mechanic of the creature being on the battlefield. 5+ creatures have been stunned or recalled by spells or abilities you control. Transform this thing into Yasuo the Unforgiven. It is a human Ionian Samurai, a 5/5 first striker. When it's on the battlefield, when a creature you don't control is recalled or stunned. What does recall mean? Is like bounce? Is recall just bounce? Recall is in the super chat, mate. Oh, was it? I got rid of that super chat. Sometimes it helps us to sometimes have the ability here. Okay, hold on. I found the super chat. Recall. We need more commas here. Recall equals return card to owner's hand. All right. So what? You know what? It was intuitive. I like it. Okay. So whenever when a creature you don't control is recalled or stunned, Yasuo deals damage to that creature equal to the Yasuo the Unforgiven's power. Okay, so what I'm going to say is this thing is enormous. It is a 3-mana 4/4 first striker. Now, I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that. Wizards might, though. It's pretty big for a blue creature. That is power creep power level. I like calling bounce recall. Honestly, I like it too. It's intuitive. It makes sense. Are we stealing it from another game, though? Okay, we got Ash. This is a green, green, green. 1 generic, 5/3. Human Freljordian Archer. When Ash attacks, Frostbite target opponent's creature with the most power. Remember, Frostbite is stun. When Ash is on the battlefield, when 5 or more creatures you don't control have had their power reduced to 0 from spells and abilities you control, transform Ash and create a token artifact named Crystal Arrow. Our spell when 5 or more creatures you don't control have had their power reduced to 0. That's a lot. That sounds impossible to like even achieve. Ash the Frost Archer. It's a 6/4. When Ash the Frost Archer attacks, Frostbite target opponent's creature with the most power. Creatures your opponents control with 0 power can't block. How do we make anything 0 power? Major says, my dad is a free yord. Sounds like freeloader in a way. That's another pet peeve of these cards. Magic doesn't list creature's nationality of the creature type line. Well, not often. Well, like, what nationality would they have? I mean, they traverse, like, the plains, right? Nikachu, read Frostbite makes the 0 power. Oh, does it? Okay, you're powerless. Thank you very much, Dadam Draws. All right, so we need to just frost 5 creatures that we don't control. Honestly, that sounds impossible. So this is definitely an easy pass. The best part about this card is just it's a 4-mana 5/3 that is basically a more power crep Frost Titan, right? It's a 4-mana 5/3 that stuns things when it attacks. Same thing as Frost Titan. I have no idea how you flip this, or if it's even possible. It's anti-Winter Fox. It's yeah, you know what? Yeah, you can have 0. You can be 0/1. You can be indestructible, but you can't get around the stun counters. You can't get around stun counters. 4 Paths of Life. Thanks so much for the super chat. Paradox World, Part 3. $3B, in fact. Now, if that is an AI generated image, if I've ever seen one, in my opinion. It's a legendary land. Tap, the active player adds black. Tap, add colorless. That mana must be spent before you can activate this ability again this turn. Why would I be able to do that again? And it's funny, tap, the active player adds black. So I got to make sure that I have priority before I actually tap this for anything. Well tapped, if another differently named spell or card's ability would add 1 or more black, it adds 1 less black instead and untaps Paradox Marshes. Oh, interesting. So I play Dark Ritual. I steal the power of that 1 black mana. Is anti-Winter Fox on the bingo sheet? It is not. Not at all. Winter Fox, though. Scared in the booties. Ash doesn't stun things? What, not technically? Hold on, I gotta go back. Did I not read that properly? I'm now just very curious. Did I misread that at the end? Hold on, I'm gonna copy this. I just want to go to Yasuo. Oh, I missed your last card, by the way. When it attacks, Frostbite targets opponent's creature with the most power. Well, it's basically stun, though, right? So you have... Sorry. Okay, it's technically not Frostbite. Okay, it's good that we go back. I forgot about your 4th card here. The Commander Ledros. Commander Ledros. The 5 black. Oh, that's on the bingo card. 4 mana of a single color, 4+ in the mana cost. So 5 black, 4 colorless for a 10/6 Wraith. It's got Fearsome. Be very afraid. When Commander Ledros enters the battlefield, target opponent loses half their life. When Commander Ledros dies, return Commander Ledros to its owner's hand instead of sending Commander Ledros to the graveyard. I actually think this is fine. There's actually there's cards that cost a lot less that can reduce the opponent's life total down to almost nothing. Frostbite can still tap. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Frostbite is better. I'm just using a word that like a lot of people understand. Because that's effectively what Sun Titan did. Phyrexian is a physical trait. You can get Phyrexians who are from Mirrodin, but it doesn't go into their type any more than a Centaur from Timor or a Dryad from Capenna. No, they errated all the cards to be... Well, maybe the card type is not Phyrexian, but the creature type is. Okay, sorry I missed your 5th card. You paid for 5. Okay, back to... Uh-oh. Where are we going back to? We're going back to, how do we get back? What was this last super chat? I thought I copied it. Hold on. I'll just have something on stream while I try to look back here through the super chats. Paradox World, that's what it was. There we go. This is 5 mana. Okay, we have Spliced Identity. This is a 5 mana legendary enchantment paradox. You may reveal a creature card from your hand, then pay its printed mana cost. Merge it under target creature you control as if it has mutate? These cards that are like, you can play it like this other mechanic, except it's not the mechanic. Like, why can't we just use it like the mechanic? I really don't like this type of concept of play the card like this other mechanic, but it's like sort of not that one. Well, a card is under a merged creature. That merged creature gains an alias counter of that card's printed name. If a creature would become a copy of another card, it gets an alias counter of its current name before doing so. If a card has an alias counter, you may treat its name as the name on that alias counter. I don't know what this card does. I've no... Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same boat. Cool design. Hurts my head, though. I don't even know what it does. Play this mechanic like that other mechanic, but sort of different. Should be a bingo spit. That also, I know, it's pretty common. Why doesn't anyone just have that mechanic with their additional buffs as they would like to? Or maybe it's like merge under target creature you control as if it has mutate. It's like it has first stripe, except it has its own separate phase during combat. Anyway, this card is above and beyond way too confusing. It's not even close to comprehensible. I don't want to read it 4 times to understand what it actually does. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, but it's really confusing. Maybe I can call it a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. What copy? It's you know what? I'm gonna make it a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards do either, and that text was also very, very small. We went above and beyond, and I bet Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards also have that sort of templating. You do this and that like this other Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Yeah, okay, we did it. We did it for Ginka. For you, for Ginka. It is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Slot. Okay, we have Terrain Class Sentient Amalgam. 7 mana, 3/4. It's a Paradox Shapeshifter. Changeling. Spells cost 1 more to cast unless it is a Paradox card or a creature with Changeling. So it's like a tax for everybody else except you. It's got Land Warp. Pay 2, tap. Each player shuffles all lands they control into their owner's library, then reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal that many land cards. Put all lands revealed this way onto the battlefield and place all other revealed cards at the bottom of their library in any order. That's actually really cool. I don't know... Well, in this case, it's an amalgam. You know, it's just like how I looked at... There's like 2 different spellings for werewolf, W-A-R-E. I don't know if there's 2 different spellings for amalgam. But it's a paradox world, so it can be spelled however it wants to be spelled. Holoptly says, you know how Splice adds its effect without actually leaving your hand? This is mutate onto a creature without the creature leaving your hand. All the complicated stuff for the name change. True story. Not tap, double your... Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good catch, Michael. Yeah, so... Well, I mean, it works for everybody, too. So you can float all your mana, but everyone can float their mana, and then you activate this, and you like basically double the lands in play. That is cool, but the amount of landfall triggers you get from this is absolutely insane. It's 7 mana though. I think it's cool. I highly approve of this card. 100%. Slam dunk. I mean, it's expensive. Yeah, it's 7 mana to cast. It's 2. You gotta wait till next turn. It's 2 mana tap to get it online. That's a really cool card. Sounds like a blue card. Sort of. Maybe. Maybe it is. Okay, next up, we got the Super Oz Walrus. Watching live in Australia. Donation for 2 cards. Oh my goodness. We got a donation. Okay, how are we gonna... Okay, gonna cover my eyes. Also gonna go deep into the chat here. Deep into Discord, where we land. We land on the Inconspicuous Devourer from... Who is this? Daesu! Okay, we got a green, black, 3 generic, 0/1 beast horror. Now trample, flanking X, and rampaging X. I don't even know what either of those are. I sort of know rampaging. I don't remember what flanking is. Where X is the number of creatures blocking Inconspicuous Devourer. Well, there we go. Just don't block this thing, and there's gonna be no problem. When the Cookie Monster is coming, you get out of its way. Inconspicuous Devour attacks each combat if able. All creatures able to block Inconspicuous Devour do so. Oh my god! So now we got to do the math, where X is the number of creatures blocking it. Okay, now the question is, what does this thing do? I think flanking gives the blocking creature -1/-1, and then the rampage gives it +1/+1. So basically, it gets big. I think that's how it works. It gets bigger for all the blocks and shrinks the opponent's creatures. Yeah, minus X for the blockers. Pretty terrible, but that's what makes it legal. Oh, there's a lot of terrible... There's half this room has commander decks that is just loaded with terrible cards. Finally, something uses rampage adequately. Yeah, only when combined with flanking. Finally, 2 mechanics, as old as time. One as old as time, one just old. Together, they actually make some sense around here. I wouldn't say it only works because everything has to block the Inconspicuous Devourer, but... It'll kill the tokens, that's for sure. Basically, you attack into the token player and they're like, oh my goodness. I'm about to lose my entire board. There's a more modern version above it. Well, no, it's is it the same thing? Oh, it looks more like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I like this one. This one's good. It's a good one. I like that. It's simple. It's clean. Also, I like the image better. It's an Oreo cookie. I'm a huge fan of Oreo. Damn it! All right, we have a second donation. Where are we going? Yeah, we're going this way. Where we land, I have no idea. Hopefully, it's not a card from last week. Lootless. Is this actually one of your donations? Oh no! Wait a minute. No, this person wanted to donate, but they can't make it to the show. Lootless Faithling. This is a red sorcery. Discard 2 cards. Flashback for 3 mana. Yeah, 100% fair. It's actually not broken. Not at all. You may cast this card. Oh, is this you, KenCon? Oh yeah, that's you, aren't you? I keep forgetting your name. Your name is KenCon. This gives me an idea for Majboo, but that turns creatures into food. Yeah, well, it's like mini one with nothing. It's one with nothing with extra steps. Like lootless Faithling. More of a gag card than anything else. Okay, next up. What do we have here? Allegro Rubato. First time custom card. The Meddlesome Cat. Let's take a look at Meddlesome Cat. for 5,000 CRC. I have no idea what that currency is. Did you overpay? That's like $10. Because when it gets orange, that's like gets in the 10 range. You get like another card if you want it. When it's green, when it turns green, that's when it's $5, and when it's blue, that means it's under $5. Okay, we got the Meddlesome Cat. This is an Azorius 01 cat familiar, also indestructible. Definitely a fan of Winter Fox, in my opinion. Except this thing costs a lot less. We also, for a blue, target creature or planeswalker loses all activated abilities. If it is a creature, tap it. Its controller gains control of Meddlesome Cat. Targeted creature or planeswalker doesn't regain its abilities or untap during its controller's untap phase for as long as Meddlesome Cat remains under that player's control. Oh, so they want to get rid of it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if it's broken. It's basically like a removal spell, but now I give you the power to get rid of this thing. So, it's a weird card. It's harmless. It just janks up the game. You can use it over and over again. Oh yeah, let's see. How would this work? Lose all target creature or planeswalker loses all abilities. If it's a creature, tap it. Its controller gains control of Meddlesome Cat. Target creature or planeswalker doesn't regain its ability or untap. I think it would only. So I think you could activate it multiple times, but I would assume only one. The first one that resolves is not untapping, because it's at that point that you gain control of Meddlesome Cat, and therefore that particular permanent doesn't untap. The other player now controls it, so they can send it somewhere else if they have the blue. Oh, that's another You know what? I think to make this thing fair. By the way, Allegro, you can have another card if you have another one. To make this card more fair, you should actually make it one colorless. Because otherwise, this is like it's like basically like a 2-mana removal spell versus some decks, right? You just pay a blue, and then the mono red player is like screwed. Like, I don't have blue mana. So I think this becomes a much more interesting card if it costs 1 generic. So that, like, it becomes a game of hot potato where you just want to throw it away to somebody else as quickly as possible. But for a blue, it's basically like power creep removal. So for that, I'm gonna have to give it. It's a really cool card. Easy pass if you could. It just change this blue to 1 mana, 1 generic mana. Can't it wait? If I move, I'll wake her up. It's missing when you actually regain your ability. No end of turn. No, that's the point. It's until you leave it. My idea is that if you play mono white, it's good Voltron base, and if you're playing mono blue, it's removal. I see where you're going with this, but I don't see any reason to play this in, like, well, I wouldn't say completely. I wouldn't say there's absolutely no reason. I should also probably not ignore the fact that this is a 1 mana indestructible creature. I might be underrating how good this card is because of that. I could be underrating this a little bit. Maybe it should be 3 mana for an indestructible 1 toughness creature. Throwing away the cat sounds cruel. You know, I didn't think about the flavor part of that. That's right. It is cruel. E would play it. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Little MX Doom. Very nice avatar, love it. The Doom of Duskdale. The Doom of Duskdale, 7 mana for a 7/7 Elder Worm. Trample. Worm spells you cast have Delve. Oh, that actually is sick, because most worms are just stone cold unplayable. Like, they're just garbage because they're too expensive. So giving the option to give them Delve, and it also makes some sense. They come from the ground. Will actually make them play, like, remotely playable. And also you can use this as your commander. Whenever another worm you control with mana value 4 or greater enters the battlefield or attacks, create a 7/7 green worm creature token with trample. I think this card is more or less everything Krakens want to be, but better. I actually think this is an excellent idea. I mean, maybe I don't exactly know where the worm metagame is, but I think worms are in really bad shape and basically unplayable. And this is the type of card that suddenly changes like a garbage creature type, the entire kindred of it, into like playability. Mr. Velblood says, "Hey, Liliana, hold my kitty. I'll be back from never." In reference to that last card. Enemy Tactical Chat says, "This Zybers. You like the art? It's not bad. It's like a graveyard that came to life. What's the difference between a worm and a worm? Both are creature types. I think a worm. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a worm is big. The worm, the WORM, maybe that is like, I don't know, from the tiny kind. It's a worm. And when you get big enough, you're a worm. Urgh. The Jaded. Everyone's starting to think about making... Do we have a Zybers card? No, we don't. We do not. Learn grammar. Can't get rid of this. No. Okay. Doom of Duskgale is a really cool card. Oh, and there's your worm card. 7/7 travel. You know, like for these really simple tokens, you don't really have to donate for them. I think it's fine to show me this thing. So, like, I'm not reading very much. If the text is literally one word, 1 or 2 words, like that can be free. It's on me, everyone. All right, so you know what? You overpaid. We're gonna donate to somebody. We're gonna donate. I probably should donate for the last one as well. Okay, we're gonna land on Soka's Yassail Beast Hammer of Cloval. This is a 4-mana 2/3 human ranger. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may choose a creature card with a cage counter on it and pay X, where X is the chosen creature's mana value. If you do, create 2 tokens of the chosen creature. What? X is the... Okay, so basically, at my beginning of pre-combat main phase, I can just pay the mana cost of a creature and you get 2 copies of it? That seems a bit insane. Whenever a creature you don't control that doesn't... So whenever a creature you don't control that doesn't share a creature type with Yassail dies, you may pay 3. If you do, exile that creature with a cage counter on it. Okay, hold on. You may choose a creature card with a cage counter. Oh, I see. Okay. So basically, we cage something. I don't understand the whole... Oh, they're getting bred? Where are they finding the mates? This is some sort of weird prostitution going on over here, if you ask me. Oh, was there a second super chat? Oh, I didn't. Well, I saw the token. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Oh, it wasn't in the same post. That was the problem. Okay. So for that that last card, I'll give it the thumbs up because it has to have a cage counter on it first. Okay, we'll go to Lil MX Doom's second card. So I didn't mean to scam you, Lil MX Doom. I just didn't. Usually people post their cards in the same post. Arisa, Daring Adventurer. This is a white, green, red, 1 generic, 4/3 human elf ranger. Now, when Arisa, Daring Adventurer enters the battlefield, target player takes the initiative. The initiative? That thing is busted. Whenever a player ventures into the dungeon, create a 1/1 green and white human elf creature token, which could be you. Enters the battlefield. So we enter the battlefield, we take the initiative, and players must attack the player with the initiative with at least 1 creature each combat if able. Interesting. Bingo. 5 words in name. Oh, for which one? Was it for the worm? I don't know which one it was. I missed it. Okay, I will just trust you. Not sure what card it was, but you never miss for Ginka. You never miss. Okay, so everyone has to attack you if you have the initiative, and it's pretty easy to lose the initiative if you're getting ganged up on. So I guess that's fair. And then lastly, we got the human elf. This is a 1/1 human elf. That's it. You get it. You have a human elf. Cool story. For the Beast Tamer? Oh, okay. I don't remember what the Beast Tamer's name was. It was a long one, I suppose. Isn't Yes Soul basically Offspring? I guess so. Nikachu, the other card on my super chat. Yeah, so if you just put both of them in the same post, then I'll know that they're together. I don't always know that like the post directly underneath it is what you were going for. Yeah, you can push another one, Allegro. Yeah, you can give me another one. I'll keep an eye out for you, Allegro. If you give me another one, I will. I'll definitely accept it because you overpaid by $5. Okay, next up we've got Corbinek. 2 cards today. Hope you like Glastig Uane and Prison Sentence. Oh, let's look up Glazedig. Okay, we start off with Glaztig, which is black, 2 generic for a star 5 legendary creature parahuman. It's got Undying and Shadow, which means you can't be blocked except by shadow creatures. Can only block at shadow creatures itself. This card's power is equal to the number of creatures in all graveyards. Pay 4, exile a creature card from a graveyard. Put a creature token copy of that creature into play. It loses all abilities besides activated ones and also has Shadow. Honestly, I think it's very underwhelming. I think, what is it? 7 mana to have potentially a creature that has no power whatsoever. Although it has Undying and Shadow by itself. I guess it could be big if you build around it. You just dump a bunch of cards in your graveyard. It'll work out. And then the next one is you had Prison Sentence. Okay, I'm interested what this is. That sounds like a card. Prison Sentence, blue-white. It should be a gold border card. Should be gold. Okay, blue-white, 1 generic for an enchantment or a curse. When an enchanted player commits... First off, it should start saying it should say enchant player. Always for auras that enchant players. When an enchanted player commits a crime, this card deals 1 damage to that player. Damage from this source cannot be prevented. If a player enchanted by this card commits 5 crimes in a single turn, they lose the game. So what? They just can't target the game, target anything, or they lose? Imagine liking prison Sentence. Well, no one's gonna like this thing. Did we have 4+ of mana? Yeah, we did. No, we got 4+ of a mana. 4+ of a mana card here. We got that one. You can do crimes, but only a spoonful. Yeah, only a spoonful of crimes until you got to get rid of this thing. And ideally, you only commit 3 crimes, so that the 4th crime you commit is destroying this thing off the battlefield. Well, MX2 says, my other $10 super chat has 2 cards that I didn't post together. Sorry. Okay, okay, thank you for letting me know. I'll keep an eye out for it. Yeah, but how does one do a crime? You have to target something. It's the crappiest mechanic in all of Magic the Gathering. You target someone and you've committed a crime. Which makes some sense. If you think about it, I lightning bolt you. What? Is that completely legal? Maybe within the realms of physics. But you know what? Socially, it's a crime. You should go to jail for that. It's literally assault. 3 damage to my face. You target my creature and blow it up or harass it or harm it. That's PETA's gonna be all over you for that one. Yeah, so I get just targeting anything is a crime effectively. All right, next up, we've got, I think, okay. Anyway, I do believe that this looks fine. I think this is fine. Basically, preventing them from targeting anything ever again, ever, and ever. Okay, who do we got here? Let's spread some love around. We're gonna get to... I think this is KenCon, right? Starting with 2 red cards. Winter Ritual. And the Stone Game. All right, let's get this thing. Winter Ritual, red, instant. If you control no basic lands, add red for each non-basic land your opponent controls. Oh, so this is basically buff if you are a completely monocolor deck. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think this is a really cool card. Wizards should make more cards like this. They give you a benefit for not abusing non-basic lands. Like, or I don't know. Maybe this is something they don't want to encourage, because if you're not playing with non-basic lands, then like, what are they selling you? It's like, oh, let's make cards that encourage people to play with just basics. That'll make their deck so much cheaper, and then therefore they're not going to buy the boxes and so on. I think from our perspective, it's a really cool card. Definitely worth existing. And then we got the Stone game. Is this gonna hurt my brain or something, trying to comprehend and understand this thing? Okay, we have 7 mana, sorcery. Each player secretly chooses a number less than or equal to the number of lands they control, then reveals it simultaneously. Whenever I read a sentence that starts with each player secretly, I already know that this is going to be a confusing card. Each player sacrifices lands equal to the number they revealed. The life total of the player who revealed the lowest number becomes 1. Oh god. If 2 or more players are tied for lowest, their life total each becomes 1. There's like, what if 2 or more players are tied for the lowest? Each player secretly chooses. That is very interesting. So effectively, what do you want to lose? You want to go to what? You want to lose your life, or you want to lose your lands? And at the same time, you don't want to go too high, but you also don't want to go too low. I suppose if you have very few lands in play, like 3 or 4 at this point of the game, you might as well just bid like 100, so that just to guarantee that you're not going to lose. I wonder if this like creates a different dynamic where like everyone knows they're going to lose their lands, so everyone has to like name the highest number they can possibly think of. So like, I don't know, I would put like Google times a Google, because that's probably or a Google to the power of a Google. That's probably the highest number I could possibly give. And then we, on top of that, we need to then calculate what the answer to that is. Can't choose a number higher than number of lands. Oh, did it say that? Each player chooses you choose a number of less than or equal to number of lands. Oh, you know what? That's right. Okay. Screw everything I just said. I lost some people right there. You know, I always get feedback. I hate this guy. Yeah, I can't read the cards properly. You know, look, I have 2 options. I could give you no commentary, or I give you bad commentary. You choose that. You choose one or the other. Sometimes the commentary is bad. What can I say? Commentary is commentary. Is -2 a valid number? But why would you want to? I mean, I guess so. I mean, if you let's say you're at 3 life, it doesn't hurt you that much, so you might as well go at it. Yeah, hold on. It's got to be equal to the number of less than or equal to the number of lands. Yeah, you could go. Okay, so the commentary still stands. What if it's a war to keep their lands, and they go negative a Google to the power of a Google, as worded on the card, huh? Got, like, this is an absolute goddamn. What is the highest number of any number you could possibly think of? And then just add a negative sign to it. If you have no land, you're forced to say 0. No, we can go negative. In that case, no land and 1 life. Oof. It is choose a number less than or equal to the number of lands they control. We can go to 0. We can go to -1, -2, -1 billion. This card is too abusable by land destruction decks, and we don't need to give them more tools. It's literally 7 mana. Okay, I guess each player sacrifices. I guess it should be reworded. Each player chooses a number between 0 or equal to the number, or sorry, 0 to equal to the number of lands they control, then reveals it simultaneously. Then that would make I think that would make more sense. Land destruction has been forsaken by Wizards of the Coast for 1.5 decades. They are fine. Solid. Okay, just to prevent the negative shenanigans, because the thing is, whoever has the lowest. Hold on, if 2 or more players are tied for lowest, their life total each becomes 1. There's definitely going to be a situation where someone has like, say, 3 or 5 life, and they're like, the difference between 3 and 5 life and 1 life is nothing. So I want to keep my lands. I want to keep the lands, right? So I just want to go. I want to have the lowest negative number. Or does that matter? Life total. If 2 or more players are tied for the lowest, their life total becomes 1. Each player sacrifices lands equal to the number they revealed. Oh, no, okay, it doesn't matter. If we go to -1, it doesn't matter, right? Because we're just sacrificing -1 lands. Do I get lands? Sacrificing negative lands will mean you sack 0 and are guaranteed to be... Okay, yeah, you're right, you're right. Yeah, I just figured that out. Then you're like... So basically, if you want, you can go -1. Actually, the correct move is to go 0, I guess. You go 0. And that maximizes your chance that you're not going to completely lose. Someone could go -1 for some reason. Someone like me who thinks they're gaming the system, but really they screwed themselves. And I still don't sacrifice any lands. Is to sacrifice -1 on Earth? Maybe. Okay, I guess this card's fine. It was a really good piece of commentary as well. It's good discussion. Good discussion starter or whatever. Okay, we have Michael Canham, Tony Stark set. I think these are my last 3. The Tony Stark. Everyone's got to get their Marvel cards out before the real Marvel cards are legal. Okay, we've got here Tony Stark, GBPP. This is a Jeskai 1 generic 1/2 human artificer. Artifact spells you control cost 1 less to cast. I think that is spot on flavorful. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of tap treasure tokens equal to the number of non-token artifacts you control. Sacrifice 2 treasures. Tony Stark, GBPP, gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Sacrifice 2. I don't know what the flavor of that is, though. This is basically just a money maker for the most part. Basically, everything costs less. You get treasures to cast more, and then you can use the treasures to protect it. Using your vast wealth to protect your creature? I don't believe it. Billionaires protecting themselves. The rich get richer. Sacrifices money to get in a suit, I guess. Yeah. Is it really broken? I don't know. Trying to look at the commentary. You think you got it right this time? Oh, did you post another card? Sorry, I've not been paying attention to your posts. If you posted earlier. Okay, I gotta make a decision. I have not played with this card, but it's in 3 colors. If it was monocolor, I might start thinking this thing might be broken, but it's in 3 colors, so I don't know if it's nearly as broken. You send a new super... You didn't need to send a new super chat. You could just send nothing. You just had to make mention. Okay, I will get to your super chat eventually. I said you got a free super chat. Okay, what's the next one here? This is... We got Tony Stark. Oh, shoot. What was the... Oh, no. Yeah, we got... all the cards are here. Tony Stark, the Engineer. 5 mana, 2/2 human artificer. Affinity for artifacts. Equipment spells you control have equip 0. There's gonna literally, if you have your entire... You can have 2 Tonys on the battlefield at the same time. And then if Tony Stark, the Engineer, would leave the battlefield while it is equipped, you may exile target equipment attached to it instead. That must be like, what, its suit or something? Equipment spells you cast cost... equipment spells you control have equip 0. And then, is this the equipment? Oh no, this is just a legendary land. Well, getting back to this, definitely fine. Okay, let's check out this legendary land. A cave with a box of scraps. He made it a cave! With a box of scraps and metal. I can't remember. That was a great scene, though. Tony Stark built this thing in a cave. Can't remember the rest of it, though. It was great. Fantastic line. I'm not Tony Stark. What can we say? He's very talented. Also, he built he built a huge piece of crap in that cave. It wasn't not quite the same thing. So tap for a colorless, so it's basically a waste. Tap, add 3 mana in any combination of colors. Activate this ability only if you control a human artificer and spend this mana only to cast artifact spells. We have is literally Mishra's, what's it called? Mishra's Workshop all over again. It's crappier Mishra's Workshop. Actually, it's better in some cases because you at least tap it for mana. Yeah, Legendary Wastes that has the plus side of becoming Mishra's Workshop. Urza Mishra support. Nice. That's what we need to do. We just need to buff up artifacts. Technically, objectively, this thing's broken. But something called Mishra's Workshop does exist already. So maybe this one's it's like a fair version of that. You know, they would never print Mishra's Workshop today. Never. They would never do it. So anyway, this one is Mishra's Workshop if you've got Mishra in play. That's Mishra. That's the Mishra of Marvel right there. Factory and all. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. But I'm not Tony Stark. Is that the exact line? Anyway, I love that. I love references to the funny parts of movies and cards. That's perfect. All right, next up. We're gonna take a look at this person. We got I can't pronounce your name. Sorry about that. We got Glaze Lily version 2. Glaze Lily. Okay, this is a no mana artifact. Is that on the bingo card? No mana. We already did super chat, learn grammar. Nope. Sometimes there's like no mana bingo card, no mana slot. But it's got suspend 3 for 0. Oh, is it like blue Black Lotus? We have tap, sacrifice Glaze Lily, add triple blue to your mana pool, and draw 3 cards! Activate this ability only if you control no lands, except basic islands, and if you have no lands in your graveyard. Oh, interesting. Well, now I don't know how broken this is. Pedgeman, you can... Kirill? Skelazubov? Okay, Kirill is good enough. All right, Kirill. We have someone who can read the Russian characters. It's interesting. You know what? It's hard to evaluate. Because you can't have any lands in the graveyard, and you can only have basic islands in play. It's tough. And it's suspend 3, so you have to wait 3 turns no matter what. It vibes with mono blue players. Only mono blue. Like, the thing is, add 3 blue. Activate this ability only if you control no lands. Except it should actually be worded. Activate this ability only if you control. If you do not control a non-basic land. And then if you have no, and also if you have no land cards in your graveyard. Well, 3. It's like super. It's like a super big payoff. Super big payoff, but so hard to actually pull off, in my opinion. I think you missed one of my early... Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I'll go back. Oh, yeah. If you super chat multiple times, I appreciate it all in the same post, but don't worry. Yeah, I should also catch that as well. Okay, I will get to your other super chat. Was Stephen Strange? And we still have this one here. Okay, hold on. Stephen Strange. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna finish off Glaze Lily. It's a hard one. I'm gonna say this is a pass. I think the deck building is insane around this. It's absolutely insane. It's a huge payoff. But your deck sort of has to be diluted of anything good. Or I guess you can have very, very few non-basic lands in your deck. Or when in the late game, this thing's going to be totally useless. Okay, next I'll get to Stephen Strange, the other card. So I definitely need to get to the second card. Also had a $5 super. Oh, I get to the smaller super chats at the end of the stream. The bigger super chats get priority. This is a pay-to-win system, but I will get to all the super chats by the end of the show. I promise. We do it every show. And yeah, I try not to also don't repeat the same person over and over again. So I try to I got a system of mixing you all up. Okay, Stephen Strange. This is a Wooburg Planeswalker. It's is that actually the name is Strange? Oh yeah, I guess it should be Steven. Shouldn't it be? Shouldn't it be Stephen Strange? Anyway, 4 loyalty. +2. Tap target creature. It loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Totally fine. -X. Scry X, then draw X cards. You lose X life. Suddenly, this is Necropotence. So we get 5 mana, draw 3, or draw 4. That's also fine. -9. You get an emblem with spells you control have Cascade and Storm. I'll admit, I mean, hey, if you pull this off, you deserve it. But that is an absolutely bonkers busted, completely bonkers busted ability. It just went, we just went off the walls by the end of this card. This is what, like, we're on the AI bingo show. We would say, like, it like went crazy on the last line. Why? Yeah. Wait, isn't +2 permanent? Tap target creature, it loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. No, it just says it doesn't. Doesn't untap during its controller's. Yeah, it is actually. You lose all abilities. It's tapped, and it just doesn't untap anymore. It doesn't untap anymore naturally. Yeah, does the +2 does until next untap step or all untap? It's all untaps. Okay, maybe that card is more broken than it's maybe a little bit more broken than I saw or thought about in the first place. If all my spells had Cascade and Storm, I was paying paper. I would concede rather than try to resolve that stack. Well, remember copies. You cast triggers, then you get the next card. Because remember, Storm is a copy. It does not cast. Well, I don't think that matters. Yeah, you just basically Cascade, and then your Cascade spell gets 2 copies. I don't think it's that confusing. Is he really called Steven? Of all the... Never seen a Doctor Strangle movie? Or you mean a Doctor Strange movie? It's an old Marvel movies. What, you haven't watched the Infinity Stones? It's a big movie. Of all the things we're critiquing the name. Okay, so this is probably... I don't know how you... It probably should be tap target creature. It loses all abilities. And doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. And then this whole thing is fair. If it's just Wooburg +2 tap it, like, permanently, it's basically removal. It's +2 removal. It's like goes to 6. That is so hard to attack. Like, it's near damn impossible. Very, very almost impossible to kill this thing. But do the Cascade cards have Cascade as well? Spells you control have Cascade and Storm. Oh, you're right. Okay, how does that work? Okay, I cast a spell. It has Cascade. So we Cascade into the next card. It has Storm. I get 2 copies. I cast the card. It has Cascade. Oh, it just goes through your entire deck. Yeah, you would just go through your entire deck. Oh, no, you don't go through your entire deck. It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So you Cascade, you get 2 copies of the next Cascade card, then you get 3 copies of the next one, then you get 4 copies of the next one, all the way down the chain. Probably it's going to be miserable. Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably going to be miserable. But at the same time, how hard is it? It's like we go from 4 loyalty to 6 to 8 to 10, then -9. You had fair warning. But you do have to... I think the most broken thing is +2. I think this -9 is... just resign. If you don't want to deal with it, just resign. Okay. +2 is the most broken of all this. I've legit never watched a Marvel movie. Well, you've never been on an airplane? It's where I watch all my Marvel movies. Usually through someone else's TV show. Okay, we got to go back to this super chat. Mikanko. I'm not reading this right. Mikanko Spirit Walk. Which one? The original one? I think the OG. Because there's a version 2. But you didn't mention version 2, so I'm going to look at the OG one. It is a very colorful mana cost, but at the end of the day, it's 6 mana for a 0/1. Yeah, Kirill. Thank you very much, Kirill. You can sacrifice 2 non-token bestow auras rather than pay Ohime's mana cost. How is bestow spoken about twice in one show? That's ridiculous. It's a 0/1. Okay, for a white, put an aura card with mana value X or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield attached to target creature, where X is the amount of auras you control. Also, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Ohime. Prevent all damage. Pay a white. Cast target creature with a bestow ability from your graveyard using its bestow ability. The bestow cost of target creature is reduced by X. Okay. I actually think this is fine. It's a little bit... You can sack 2 non-token bestow auras rather than pay Ohime. I think getting the auras sacked is difficult by itself. Yeah, you can be mono white with this card. It's a mono white card right here. Chat seems to be enchanted with the bestow mechanic. Very bestowy. Seems a bit convoluted. Welcome to Custom Magic the Gathering world, where nothing is straight. For the only one, I think the only person making straightforward cards now is like the damn draws. Those are purely straightforward. Oh, we got Allegro Rubato with Rogue Air set. Okay, we'll start with this one. Rogue Air set and Termina. Oh, you got 3 cards here. Okay, good. So you have where's Rogue? None of these. Oh, Rogue Air set plus Termia Land of Saints. Huh? I don't get it. There's 3 cards here. You get 1 free one. Termia. Oh, I see. Oh, these could be 3, and there's a 4th one. Okay. I can't tell. I can't tell or remember if you've gone over your... Yeah, you only donated 1 card so far. Okay. Faranan, Lost Air. This is a 2 mana 2/1 Rogue Air. Split second and hexproof. 0. Return Faranan, Lost Air to its owner's hand. A Rogue Air can't be your commander? Interesting. The Reverse Commander set. Split second and hexproof. Pay 0. Return Faranan, Lost Air to its owner's hand. I declare that this is... You can't get rid of this card. And by can't rid of, you can't kill it. It's never getting killed. Oh my god, we have so many almost bingos. We got like a 4 over here. We got 4 over here. We got 4 this way. We have almost this diagonal. Oh, we're all over the place over here. This is crazy. This is absolutely wild. It's Simic Squee, effectively. Well, it's harmless. So I'm going to say not broken. Okay, we have Veronica, heir to Faustino. Faustino. This is a blue 1/2 Rogue Heir. Also can't be your commander. It's got Flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter target spell or activated ability that is not a mana ability unless its controller pays 1. Love it! I need this card. Whenever a player plays a spell, shuffle Veronica, heir to Faustino into its owner's library, and then counter that spell unless its controller pays 1. Okay, so basically it's basically like a 1 mana. It's like a weird stifle force spike type of card, and it just gets shuffled back in the deck, but randomly you might be able to attack or block with it a few times. I think this is a cool card. You think the art is too distracting? No, I don't think it's distracting enough. In fact, it's quite within my ballpark. When you got something you got to show, you want to strut. When you got it, well, how do I put it? You have something to show off, you might as well show it off. I'm sure there's a better expression for that than I just said it. And next we have Beatrice, heir to Alberich. We have a blue Simic 0/2 Rogue Heir. It also has split second. When Beatrice, heir of Elbridge, enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. Place a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Shuffle Beatrice, heir to Elbridge, into its owner's library. This is literally... So this is, what's it called? It's that Simic card, effectively. It's the... can't remember. It's the instant speed Simic card. You draw a card, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield, but instead you put it back into your deck, effectively. Enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. So this split second, draw a card. Place a hand card from your hand onto the battlefield. Tapped, shuffle. Immediately this thing just leaves. It came and then went. And she's gone, effectively. Anyway, we were just gonna say this is a pass. It's very close to this other card, though. I can't remember. What's this? Just be safe, yeah, because he's streaming and he can't stall for too long and has to move on and roll with it, sometimes with the wrong card. Oh, did I get the wrong card? Oh, well, hey, I got the wrong card. I didn't know you had to delete other posts with those words. Thanks for letting me know, though. Was there another post? I saw there was 2 posts, but you didn't say the version 2. You just gave me the regular version, so I went with the original one. If you want, people do give like version 1, 2, 3, and 4. But if you have another version, then you just have to be specific with it. This is literal fast bond. You can use this any number of times. Oh, is it? Place a land on the battlefield, tapped, shuffle. Oh, it's broken. Okay, I see. So when it enters the battlefield, when it enters, we draw a card. And oh, sorry, it's not an ETB, put a land onto the battlefield. It's just put a land on the battlefield, shuffle Beatrice. But actually, it's better because you're not even paying life. So play a land. This activates. Hold priority. Play another land. Play another land. Play another land. Empty your hand of lands. Oh yeah, so this is broken. Yeah, cannot fix. Well, he gave you the correct name. It's an entirely different card that also has the word Mekanko in it. Okay, hold on. Mekanko. How many Mekankos are there? Oh, was it Mekanko Spirit Walk? Oh, then maybe I screwed it up. Okay, blue, white, instant. If you control a spirit, target creature became an aura with enchant creature attached to a spirit you control. If you control a spirit, so this is for the spirit players. Target creature becomes an aura with enchant creature attached. So basically, it's another bestow card. We're bestowing all over the place today. Gain control of the aura attached to a spirit this way. Gain control of the aura attached to a spirit this way. Why? Okay, if you control a spirit, target creature becomes... Oh, I see. So it's like removal. So I can target an opponent's creature. It becomes an aura. And then gain control. Oh yeah, okay. And then gain control of the aura. I have no idea if this is worded properly, but I don't even know what it will do. So I'm assuming you don't control. I'm assuming we just gain the abilities of the card that it had. It needs it's still a land. Well, it's not a land though. We're basically targeting creatures. It's effectively a removal spell that turns into an aura card that bestows onto my creature. Well, I guess no, it's just an aura. It's not technically bestow. So when my creature with the aura dies, so does the creature. So bestow away an enemy creature as a do-nothing enchantment. In some way. But you gain control of it. Okay, cool card. Sorry about that. I missed that. Sometimes I make... Hey, if I screw up, you just let me know in chat. We're going to make things right. Okay, and then there was one more card from this set, the Termia Land of Saints. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's a legendary land. It is a city. So you've come back to die with your city. When Termia, Land of the Saints, enters the battlefield, your life total becomes 10 unless you sacrifice a legendary permanent. Well, you sacrifice this thing. Any player may pay for this cost. I don't know why they would. Tap, return a knight, paladin, or angel you control to its owner's hand. Add triple white. Use this ability as a sorcery. Tap, return Termia, Land of the Saints, to its owner's hand. Put a Knight, Paladin, or Angel from your hand onto the battlefield under your control at the end of the turn. If it's in the graveyard or on the battlefield, shuffle it into its owner's library. Then you lose life equal to its total casting cost. I don't know what this card does. This is too many words. So when it enters the battlefield, your life total becomes 10. So basically, you can say my life total is going to become 10. And then I've got literally show and tell on a basic land, right? Or not a basic land, on a non-basic land. It doesn't add mana, but it's literally show and tell. What kind of angel can I put onto, or paladin can I put on the battlefield to break this thing? Oh, we've hit the 2-hour mark. Oh, that's got to be something. That's got to be something. Oh! We've got a bingo! Oh, we didn't even see the thing crossed out properly. That is a bingo. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. I don't know why we're hearing music. Or we got plenty. We have plenty of... I got 17 super chats. What, do I have to raise the price again? What is going on here? What is wrong with everyone? Why don't any other content creators cover this space? This is crazy. Sometimes I think I should have this separate channel just called Nikachu's Custom Review or something. And it's all it is, Monday to Friday, is this crap. I do custom cards all day, every day, 5 days a week. Coffee and MTG just devolves into this. I swear I'd be a professional custom card reviewer. No, please, no, I want to participate in this. Just make custom and AI shows all day. Yeah, I mean, that is an alternate way of doing this entire channel. It's because you have an awesome personality. Oh, thank you very much. To be honest, I don't know what the competition is for reviewing custom cards. Okay, next up. What do we got here? Yeah, I'm absolutely disqualifying this card, by the way. I don't know. You gotta have a little bit more of a cost here to just returning this thing back to your hand. And then putting a creature onto the battlefield. You can, by the way, play this turn one. Yeah, you can play this turn. No, you just do this immediately. It doesn't even enter the battlefield tapped. It doesn't even enter the battlefield tapped. It's just turn one, GG, effectively. Your life total is 10, though. I don't think that's much of a cost. By the way, in one-on-one Magic, that would mean nothing. That would mean absolutely nothing. I can go turn one Iona. Turn one Iona, name Black. Pass the turn. Yeah, good luck doing anything else. Even if I return to my hand. So this should... Okay, first, it should say enter the battlefield tap. Second, there should be a mana cost attached to the show and tell ability. Third... I don't know what else to do. Third, get rid of the second ability. Where do we have abilities on top of something that's already pretty borderline broken? All right, we're moving on. We gotta move on. Okay, Lil MX Doom with the Moon Empress. Montico and Hector Unifying Leader. Okay, let's look at the Moon Empress. So there's 2 here. Didn't you give me a message that there's another one? Oh, there's one on the bottom, right? Okay. Okay, we got the Moon Empress, Montico. This is a 4-mana, 3 loyalty Montico. We gotta get in here. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, create a 1/1 white insect. Why are insects coming from an Orzhov card? Token with flying, and when this creature dies, you may put a loyalty counter on target planeswalker, which will be this one. This ability triggers only once each turn. +1, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. Ah, it's like a Dark Confidant. And -3, sacrifice a creature you control, return it to the battlefield from its owner's graveyard at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, so you can sacrifice your opponent's creatures and then they come back. Interesting. Moths are white. And so this is the moth token. The lamp. Where's the lamp? There should be a lamp on this thing. It looks like a Pokemon. It's probably like a Pokemon insect or something. That's not what a moth looks like. They're ugly as hell. This is cute. It looks more like a fox phoenix of some sort, if anything. You know, we should pay price based on the number of words in the text box. That's actually true. I can't remember who was it. That was already mentioned that's like a pay scale of how to make the thing work. Okay, then we got Hector, Unifying Leader, the 4-mana 2/5 human soldier, Vigilance, and Enlist. Other creatures you control have Enlist. I don't remember what Enlist does. Whenever a creature you control enlists, exile the enlisted creature, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So it's like a weird blink sort of thing. Pay a red, target creature gains haste and trample until end of turn. Exile. So they can't even take advantage of the haste. Yeah, it's Dimitri. That's who it was. Haven't seen him in a while. Probably because Dimitri's building up the, I don't know what it was, $2,000 for the 48-hour Dimitri stream. Whatever the hell that is. Cuteness in my black cards. Actually, this is a white token, isn't it? Or maybe it's a black token? I think it's a white token. Enlist lets you tap an untapped creature, and the creature with Enlist gets that card's power and toughness until end of turn. Oh, I thought it was going to be like a tutoring thing. I enlist you in the army. This way. Okay, anyway, I think this is fine. Actually balanced cards. I think, in my opinion. And we have Ken Khan with 2 more that are a little more jokey and lighthearted, starting with the Cleansing Light. Cleansing Light. We have a white instant. Tap target non-land permanent, then exile all non-land permanents. Cleansing Light can't target. Decades of dirtily non-interactive card design gone in a flash. My greatest question is, why did you cross out the, like, I don't know, either the artist or the AI thing? It's the biggest question I have. It looked, because you didn't cross it out completely. That's why it looks strange. It looks a little strange. So instant tap target non-land permanent, then exile all non-land permanents. Cleansing Light can target. Wait a minute, I saw. Was that a super chat in another show? I swear that we've seen this one. Anti-combo card? No, it's like an anti. What's it called? Why is it anime? People love anime. You heard of weebs? There's a lot of weebs in chats. You go into my Discord. There's like weebs everywhere. They're recruiting me. They're doing their best. Yeah, it's anti hexproof, anti indestructible, anti shroud, anti like trying to get it's anti. You thought you had protection from everything. Well, the Cleansing Light's got you. Anyway, tap target, then exile all other non-land perms. It's actually broken. So it's a board wipe for 1 mana. And you can tap your own non-land perm and exile everything else. Indestructible and shadow and every evasion ability. Yeah, exactly. It should say it should say doesn't it can target anything. I have no idea how to word this thing. For You says, dang it, my super chat earlier got refunded because I didn't have the money. Got to save up for you. We do this every single week. You can save up for next week. I don't know. I'm sure in Vintage it's broken, but everything is broken in Vintage. I think this is broken everywhere, in my opinion. And the second card is the Decree of Salt. The Salt Mines. Welcome to the Salt Mines. Okay, this is a 3-mana instant. Remove all objects from the stack. Oh yeah, I saw this card like I don't know when. Yesterday? It's like, what are all objects on the stack? Step 1, look up what object means in this game, which I don't. Step 2, credit Wizards of the Coast and force them to come up with another way of saying can't be countered on your brainless green fatties. Step 3, also Storm, but Storm players cry less. I don't know. What is object? Like just a card? Like a physical card? Everyone's still on that last card. It would be worded like, can target creatures with Shroud and Express if they didn't have these abilities. It may be. I think it's just exile all other creatures or exile all other permanents. Because like you can't protect from like exile everything, right? It's probably the cleaner way of just describing that. All effect cards, spells, etc. Is an effect an object? That's the part I don't know. Like maybe it is, maybe it's not. Not 100% on that. Okay, probably remove all objects from the stack. If it's anything on the stack, then it's perfectly fine. It's just like a weird it's a mind break trap. Yeah, exactly. Tresaru, it's just mind break trap for 3 mana. Gotta cast it the old-fashioned way. Taylor says, true, there should be a keyword for can't be countered. Maybe. There's all sorts of different ways of can't be countered, though. You know, they want to keep their options open. Okay, let's see. Then we move back to, we have the smaller donations now. Winter Fox, what do you got for us? You've got Angry Fawog. Oh, sorry, it's Angie. Angie Fawog. That's a very cute name, I have to say. Oh my god, it's not. I thought it was going to be like fog. It's literally a frog. Okay, it is Bant for a 1/1 Desert Rain Fawog. Angie Fawog enters the battlefield with 2 shield counters on it. If Angry Fawog dies, you get an emblem with deal 1 emotional damage to all players during each upkeep. It is very, very, very cute. It literally does nothing though. Thanks for the super chat, Winter Fox. This is very outside your comfort zone. This is a very, very different style of card from what I'm used to hearing from you. Next up, we got Elixir with Elspeth, Will of the People. Elspeth. I did not spell that. Elspeth. I should also write Will. Probably a lot of... I can't write this damn thing. There we go, I found it. Will of the People. 9 mana. For a 1 loyalty. Elspeth. Oh, but it's got Convoke. Elspeth enters with an additional loyalty counter for each creature that convoked it. Now I'm thinking this might be broken. +1, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, then put a +1/+1 counter on each of them. That's actually a really good idea. And then -10. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of each upkeep, proliferate, then proliferates. Well, I'm assuming that's really hard to pull off. Like, oh no, and maybe it's not. Okay, hold on. In theory, you can go straight to 10. You get an emblem with at the beginning of each upkeep. So if you tap 9 creatures, boom, you've got 10 loyalty, and you just go ultimate, and you just proliferate twice. Populate, then proliferate, basically. Well, I mean, ideally, you have enough loyalty still on this. You get the emblem, and then you start going +1 again. If you only use creatures to convoke, you get emblem on spot. Yeah, but then you don't get the +1. Not immediately, anyhow. Trip says, split second is more than can't be countered. It can't be responded to at all. Like if I do a split second bolt on your creature, you can't even giant growth to save it. True story. Counter everything you could possibly do. Elspeth became Will. Solid. Anyway, okay. Cool card. I actually think this is interesting. I think there's a lot of design space. It's like that elephant, right? There's that elephant where if you convoke it, it enters the battlefield with that many +1/+1 counters, and it puts counters on everything. That's just this, but in Planeswalker form. How possible in current meta is to have 9 creatures? Well, in Commander, very likely, especially if you would play at the power level of 4. Just out of curiosity, for anyone that watching the show, does anyone play with a 0 power level deck? Like, that's not group hug? Because I'm sure 0... Okay, how about a 1? Everyone's like, oh, my deck is a level 5, is a level 7, a level 8, a level 6, a level 5. Who plays at 1? They're showing up to the table. I got a 1. All right. My cards are like 7 mana. They're vanilla creatures. I got no mana ramp. Forginka plays that one. There we go. We have at least one person. Okay, next up. It's to look at who hasn't gotten anything? Let's look at Michael. Michael with the Stephen Strange, keeping with the Marvel theme. Oh, is this another card that I just... oh, I didn't miss this one. Oh, it's not that I missed your super chat. It says you super chatted this at a different time. All right, so we did this one. Megostera with a card I had a concept but not written yet last week, and that went through a mana cost increase for balance. Destiny Foretold. All right, we got 6 mana for a tarot card reader of some sort. Sorcery. Reveal a non-land permanent card from your hand. Target opponent chooses one. Reveal a non-land permanent. They can only choose one. Exile the revealed card. Reveal a non-land... Okay, I reveal a non-land permanent card from my hand. Target opponent chooses one. Or is it worded like reveal any number? Anyway, exile the revealed card. Exile cards on the top of your library until you have exiled cards with a total mana value equal or higher than the revealed card. Until end of turn, you may play cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. I think there's like a lot of redundant text on this. I shouldn't say it's completely disqualified, but the whole thing should just be worded as exile a card from your hand, and then exile cards on the top of your library until you have exiled cards with total mana value equal to or higher than the revealed card. And then that's it. Bingo, we already did it. Yeah, we already did it. We already did this one. Not this one, but for Stephen Strange. Look up Stephen. We got Stephen Strange twice. We already did this one. That's exactly what it's for. Wow, I can't believe it. It completely whiffed. Complete whiff. On another note, where the hell is Majra? Majra, you gotta get your internet back up. What happened to your internet, Majra? Shout out to Majra. Okay, reveal. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now let's talk about the card itself. It's actually quite fine. I don't even know if it needs to be this expensive. It's like just Cascade. It's like it's 2 cards Cascade. Or is this basically giving Cascade something? Till in turn, you may play cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. I think this could be cheaper. Oh, I get it. It's possible that in a deck with a lot of 0 mana cards, you could like play everything. Like it would be a huge Storm card. Okay, I see that. That's the problem here. Okay, but other than that, I think it's cool. Just needs... I see what you're trying to do. It's worded like someone was telling a fortune. You know, reveal a card. Someone chooses that card, which they're only choosing one because that's the only one card revealed. And then you reveal cards from your deck. Or unless you meant to say reveal your entire hand and the opponent chooses one. You show a card, opponent choose you play this for free, or you play the card from the top, but they don't know what you have on top, so they take a gamble. Are they? Target opponent oh, exile the reveal. Ah, I screwed up. Okay, then the whole thing works out. The opponent is choosing one of those 2. Can we put Nikachu can't read cards twice? No? We should have that space 3 times on the bingo chart. Yeah, okay, so the opponent has the choice of exiling the card. But isn't that just a bad thing for you? Reveal a non-land permanent card from your hand. Okay, until end turn, you may play cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Ah, I see. Okay, so either we cheat something in play, or we exile a bunch of cards, and then maybe we get a bunch of stuff. Nikachu can't read number infinitely. I don't know. This card is just scrambled my brain. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, it's actually worded perfectly. It's very unique and very creative. And I think it's a very cool contribution. Okay, next up. We got Elixir with where the sea meets the sky. This is blue sorcery. Replicate. Return an island you control to its owner's hand. When you cast the spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. Draw a card. Return an island you control. Broken. This is basically Gush. It's almost Gush. It's not exactly free, but until end of turn, you could you definitely easily could end of turn, cast this for 2, return 2 islands back to your hand, and draw 3. And like your opponent can't even really do anything about it. So you're going to draw a card off the original card. Oh no, sorry, you can't do this end of turn. You have to do this on your turn. Maybe it's a little bit more fair. Maybe. It's interesting. I have a feeling it's like really strong though. Yeah, the entire bingo card should just be Nikachu can't read. How many? It's just Nikachu can't read. Nikachu misinterprets this card. Nikachu didn't read the whole thing. This and that. That could be a whole bingo card. And usually I try to be more careful and actually try to read the whole thing the best I can. My gut says we can't print this. Like, it's just my gut. But sorcery is a huge deal. Like, making the sorcery speed makes this, like, a lot worse. But 2 mana draw 3 is still pretty strong. Especially since, like, you don't mind resetting the mana. Oh, do you know what? Let's compare this to Expressive Iteration, which is banned in Pioneer, banned in Legacy, I believe. And that is, like, 2 mana, red and a blue, and you have to reveal the top 3 cards of your library, and you basically put 1 in exile, 1 into your hand, 1 on the bottom of your library. This is basically the same thing, except you're just drawing the cards. It's actually better. So actually, I will say this is too strong. I will say, I declare, too strong. Did anyone donate a long time ago? Okay, equal standing. This time I got you got the monies. You came back with some money. That's good. You got to be part of the show. Equal standing. It's pay to win around here. Sometimes we get some people get donations. Oh, you can probably give me an... Oh, you did... You almost got the whole thing? 21 is close. I know how much Polish złoty is. You can give me another card, because you're, like, literally 1 or 2 złoty off from $5. It's like you donated me $9. Okay, equal standing. We have 3 mana instant. Remove all counters from all players and all permanents they control. Remove all counters from all players. I think this could be a lot cheaper. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so, like, it kills planeswalkers, right? Planeswalkers, like, die on sight. They're, like, just dead. Remove all counters from all players and all permanents they control. Yeah, I think it's a cool card. It's a cool card. I'm surprised this type of card doesn't exist. So it's like 3 mana, destroy all planeswalkers, and if nothing else, like, wipe the board of all the stupid counters that are on the battlefield. Really cool card. Anti-energy, anti-infect. As long as people aren't one-shotting you to death. Card effect is overcosted. Dump on planeswalkers. I think it's fine. It's instant speed. It's uncommon. Okay, let's get your second super chat, which is Carbonite Prison. Carbonite... Star Wars card. Oh no, we've got to give you a super chat sound effect for that. Okay, Rakdos, Aura, Flash, Enchant Creature. Enchant Creature is a 0x wall with Defender, where X is a sum of creatures' original base power and toughness. I would think, to be honest, the Carbonite Prison is literally like an artifact. Like, target creature becomes a Carbonite Prison with, I don't know. Like, it's like imprisoned in the moon or something. And maybe it adds mana. Like, it adds a wastes of mana or something. I don't know why it would give wastes mana, but something like that. Something like that. So anyway, because I know some Star Wars. I don't remember Han Solo doing a lot of blocking in the Carbonite prison. Not a lot of blocking. In fact, not doing a whole lot of anything. Just standing on the wall of Jabba Hutt's cave, if you ask me. I don't know about it being Rakdos as well. Well, it was created by... Who was in charge of this? Boba Fett? I don't know if Boba Fett is Rakdos. I know a bit about the wars that took place among the stars. Okay. He was literally a block. Yeah, it was literally a block. But the block doesn't defend. Oh, I mean, I guess so. Like, a wall can defend. Like, walls aren't animate. Like, maybe this qualifies. It's not it's not broken. I'll say that much. Not broken at all. We're literally turning a creature into a nothing. Basically turning a creature into a wall. Let's get one to Surefire Selves. We got Nivdia, which is a crafty surveyor. Nivdia. A slightly new spin on mono green commander design. Nividi. Nividi. 4 mana for a 2/3 human artificer with a ship in the background. They're leaving without her. Non-basic land walk. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 colorless servo token. Then each creature you control, that's an artifact, or shares a creature type with Nividi, explores. Oh my god! That is a very interesting ability. So each creature you control that's an artifact or shares a creature type with Nividi explore. Basically, everyone's exploring. This is technically an explorer. Looking for the next America around here. Apparently found, I don't know, some sort of island. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. You're going to make a token army. It's a landfall deck. This combined with that earlier card where you like remove all lands from the game and then reveal lands from the top of your deck until you've reached the same number of lands. Just completely go off with this thing. Alright, cool card. And next we've got, let's get one from We Done Need Badgers with Utterly Defeated. This card works one way against normal creatures and another way against indestructible creatures. Should it be instant speed instead? Okay, we'll take a look. This is 4 mana, which is very expensive, for a destroy target creature. At the beginning of the next end step, you may gain control of that creature. Oh, this definitely should be sorcery speed. Oh yeah, slam dunk sorcery speed. You make this instant speed, that would be insane. His body may stand again, but his spirit will never return. This is a cool card. It's basically mind control. It's effectively mind control, except I guess your opponent could, in response, just destroy their own creature. So you don't get it. But if it was instant speed, oh, that'd be terrible to play around. End of turn. Destroy this creature for 4 mana. And it's mine. Instant speed mind control. Not sure why it's white. The destroy part, maybe. Also making it difficult to actually cast. How would you do it? Double black, double black, double black, double blue? Black and blue? They got spanked until they became one of you. Anyone else who has no card yet? We've got... Okay, well, let's look at another Dedam draws. The Tranquil Koi Pond. Oh, this looks beautiful. It's a land. It enters the battlefield tapped. It adds white or blue. Pay 2, tap. Put a tranquility counter on Tranquil Koi Pond. Tap, sacrifice Tranquil Koi Pond. Prevent the next X damage that'd be dealt to you this turn, where X is the number of tranquility counters on Tranquil Koi Pond. For each damage prevented this way, gain 1 life. Isn't this just downright terrible? Like, this card looks awful. It looks like just supreme junk. I think, okay, I think it should come into play untapped. You could probably still add the blue and the white. Or how do I make this? Maybe you can keep it tapped. Maybe it comes into play tapped. But this pay 2 tap put a tranquility counter on it ability. It should just be a tap ability. Yeah, super old school design over here. Yeah, peak 1994 mana battery design. And it wasn't good back then. Still not very good right now. I don't really know how to buff this thing, though. So probably, okay, step 1, we do not pay to put tranquility counters on this thing. Step 2, I hope we don't sack our land to do anything. I think it'd be fine. We can tap to put a tranquility counter on it. You could say you do it at sorcery speed. You could do that but then that would make it really bad still. Yeah, I should just not be able to have to sack. Or you have to pay the mana, or you could pay 2 as well. You could pay 2, tap, remove all tranquility counters to prevent X damage and also gain X life. And I think that'd be fine as well. If you just eliminate the paying 2, it'd be no, you can't sack your land just to gain a little bit of, I don't think you can sack a land. Let's all be honest. This mechanic sucks. It's so total garbage. It's been that way for 30 years. And it's not, the design is almost no different here. So this card could be way more pushed and still be like fine. Lil Amex Doom with Sat Lana, Lady of the Shadow Feather. Okay, we've got Satlana. It's a 5-mana 3/4 angel, flying and menace. Whenever you cast an enchantment or planeswalker spell, create a 1/1 white and black cleric creature token with lifelink. You watching, Balder? Balder, are you there? Balder's a big person in my community. Loves the clerics. Don't know how much loves angels, though. Whenever a cleric enters the battlefield under your control, each player loses 1 life. Ooh. So whenever you cast an enchantment or planeswalker spell, so whenever I'm playing other spells, I'm getting creatures, and when those creatures enter the battlefield, my opponent loses 1 life. It's probably fine, even with the menace. Man, I wish I had a custom card, but at least I made the stream. Welcome to the stream. You can always be part of the commentary. I don't really have much feedback for this. Though I have fallen, I will rise higher than ever before. You like this card might even be very popular in enchantment decks. And then what's our token? We got this little token. We got the cleric. It's actually very nice art for the cleric. Okay, next up, let's look at Purify ourselves with Voltaic Array. It may danger. All right, we've been primed. We've been prepared. Okay, this is 6 mana for an enchantment. Commutative upkeep, pay 1 life. Whenever a player casts a spell, you get energy and put an age counter on Voltaic Array. Then Voltaic Array deals X damage to them, where X is the amount of age counters on it. When Voltaic Array leaves the battlefield, it deals twice X damage to each creature. Let me reread that one. Commutative upkeep, pay 1 life. Whenever a player casts a spell, you get energy and put an age counter on Voltaic Array, which makes you lose more life. Then Voltaic Array deals X damage to them, where X is the amount of age counters on it. Oh, but you blast them before it gets to your upkeep. When Voltaic Array leaves the battlefield, it deals twice X damage to each creature. I have no idea how this card plays out. It might danger? Like, maybe? It might not do anything. Did we cross off 4 of 1 mana call already? Oh, yeah, we did a long time ago. Almost at the beginning of the show. Did we hit any 15 mana cards? Nope. No Learn Grammar, no 10/10s. No Haste Menace. No Majra either. No Majra. It can blast you also? deals X damage to them. Where whenever a player casts. Well, I mean, ideally, you're not playing any more spells anymore, I guess. Can move up, play one, pay 1 life. Oh no, wait a minute. Can everyone just agree not to play anything anymore? So whenever a player casts a spell, you get energy and put an age counter on Voltaic Array. Then Voltaic Array deals X damage to them, where X is the amount of age counters on this. Oh, okay, I see. So early on, when Voltaic Array leaves the battlefield, it deals twice. Oh no, but then you could choose not to pay the upkeep, and it just deals X damage to each creature. This is so interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. So I think the way this card works is when the cumulative upkeep is very low, you want to throw out as many creatures or spells as possible to boost up the cumulative upkeep. Then when it gets high enough, you basically tell the table, okay, no one plays anything anymore. Just stop. And then pass the turn and let the person who controls Voltaic Array die. Or cast more cards into it and like keep upping the ante. And just make sure you don't play any creatures for when it gets sacrificed, because you don't have to pay on next turn. This card doesn't even have a home in Disneyland? What does that mean? Voltaic Array. Cumulative upkeep itself adds age counters, in case you didn't know. Yeah, no, I totally understand. So you pay 1 life to add, you get an age counter, and then this card adds the age counters. That's what I'm saying. Very early on, you want to play spells early so that the damage you take is very little, and you ramp up the age counters on this card. And then at some point, you all stop and just try to let the person who controls the Voltaic Array to just die to it or make them sacrifice it. So it's a very interesting card. I think it's cool. Okay, we got another damn draws. Instant Cassette. I don't know what the hell that means. Oh, it's a Spaceballs card. It's a blue X instant. Search your library for a sorcery card and put it into your hand. You may cast it for X less, as though it had flashed this turn. Shuffle your library. When did this happen in the movie? When is when? When is this? Just now. Just now, sir. When is now? Now. You're looking at now. What happened to then? It just it just happened. When? Just now. Anyway, I can't remember the exact quote, but this is a classic. I gotta watch this thing. I wonder if someone has it on YouTube or something. Yeah, right now. Ah, good point. Okay, I should reread the card. Search your library for a sorcery. Point your hand. You may cast it for X less, as though it had flashed this turn. Okay. Work. It's basically a tutor for sorceries with the 2 extra mana, which I think is totally fine. Okay, Elixir. 5th card for today. The Perilous Exploration. A math card, playing with the stack a little bit. Perilous Exploration. How mathy. Did you know what a lambda was, Elixir? Okay, for Demir, instant. Replicate 0. Until end of turn, whenever you draw a card, you lose 1 life. Draw a card. Isn't this just broken? It's my gut instinct. Whenever you cast this spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. Until end of turn, whenever you draw a card, you lose 1 life. So the first card is free. The second card... Oh, I see. But for each one that resolves... So, okay, let's break out Nikachu's calculator. How long until you die? This is one of those cards. It's a factorial card, right? Factorials. So for the first card you draw, it's 0. You lose 0 life. But then the next card we draw, we're going to lose 1 life. And then the next card that we draw, we're going to lose 2 life because of the last 2 replicate cards that were cast. Then the next one we lose 3 life. Then the next one we lose 4. Then the next one we lose 5. Then the next one we lose 6. Then the next one we lose 7. Then 8. Then 9. Okay, so we can draw like 8 cards safe. We can draw 8 cards before we die in Commander. But you still draw a lot of cards. You still draw a lot of. I think this is still. It's still instant speed draw. Like what, 4? Like how many can we like safely draw with Nikachu's calculator? So the first one is free, so that's 1 card. Then we got 2 cards for 1 life. Then 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards, 7 cards. 7 cards, 2 mana, lose half your life. I think that is a good deal for the most part. I think that's a pretty good deal. Okay, there's no way this can be no way this card can be printed. Ken Khan, since Madra isn't here today, I'll be the substitute for Pedgeman today. Donating for Pedgeman's card, which is Marissa the Petty Theft. Marissa. How many Marissas are out there? The Petty Theft. And because this is a donation to Pedgeman, that hits the bingo card. Dono to Pedgeman. And that is another bingo! We have 2 bingos. Surprisingly difficult to, like, do anything here. Sorry, it's surprisingly difficult to actually get a lot of these bingos. For some reason. Sorry, like, every week, there's, like, 1 card that's difficult to do. Question, don't you lose life on the first draw as written? I don't know. Oh, maybe. Maybe you do. So maybe you get 1 less card. I actually don't know the rules well enough. I would assume that you draw a card. I actually don't know. I don't know the rules well enough. Maybe you draw a card for free. Maybe you have to pay the life at the same time. Yeah, wait. I am not a judge. That's just how I interpreted it. Like, you draw the card, and then after it resolved, you get the effect. But I could be completely dead wrong. Not a judge. I'm just a tournament player. I don't play with janky cards like this. You Commander players know way more rules than I do. Okay. Marissa, Petty Theft. And you know what? I don't want to be the person to judge Marissa's name, but I would assume there is a second R in there. Or maybe I'm just mispronouncing this. Maybe it's Marisa. Okay, this is a 4-mana 4/4 human wizard. I can just imagine Marisa telling me, I know my name, you idiot. Like, why are you I've heard of people like that. There's like random people trying to correct some foreigner's name. And it's like, I know what my name, and then the foreigner is like, I know what my name is, you moron. Marisa is an established character from the Tohu. Yeah, okay. Okay, sorry, Marisa. I didn't mean to judge. No, it's my instinct. Okay, flying. When Marisa deals combat damage to a player, gain control of target artifact that player controls for as long as you control Marisa. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, gain control of target artifact that player controls. Okay, so we steal like their soul rings. I was about to say mana crypt. Sorry about that. Too soon. Sacrifice an artifact. Marisa gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Tap her. Oh yes, another tap. Hexproof and indestructible. I think it's fine though. Is there a thing of like, you can't remove this? Can't get rid of it? No. No, we didn't do it. Yeah, too soon. Sorry about that, Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt people, whoever was holding on to that stuff. Zacko Person, I'm here to donate, so I don't have a card or anything. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So not only... It's funny. I should have maybe more donations to complete bingos around here. All right, we have 2 actual super chats here. Sorry, we have 2 bingos. We got one vertically, and we got one horizontally. So actually, what we were at 1, 2, 3, 4 bingos. That's amazing. And with that, okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. That is gonna help pay for Taylor Magis's. Oh, this wasn't even a card. Stream idea: cards you hate playing against. Pretty sure we've done stuff like that before, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll keep that in mind. Cards we hate playing against. It honestly would just be a bunch of like, okay, it has to be like cards that are commons that we hate playing against. Something to that effect. That's a good idea, because otherwise it's just going to be like a bunch of like most popular rare cards which people always like, Cyclonic Rift or some crap like that. All right. You know what? For those 2 cards, I'll give 2 donations because it's the end of the stream. Let's go look for a random card from... We're going to get from... Powder Keg Token? What the hell? Okay, I'm going to re-roll that one. Powder Keg is a card that already exists. Sarvis! Dr. Aphra. The 4-mana 2/2 human artificer enters the battlefield, gain control of target artifact your opponent controls. If it's a creature, it gains haste. That's like 2 artifact stealers in like back-to-back in a row. What are the odds of that? If it's a creature, it gains haste, and you just steal it for forever. Step aside, Dak Faden, because we have Dr. Aphra in the house. Yeah, let's look at one more. Another one from KenCon, the Chemi Flame. It's a 2-mana instant arcane. It deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker and has arcane resonance. If you cast this card from your hand, you may cast an arcane card from your graveyard with the same mana value without paying its mana cost. Yeah, thank you so much for Taylor Magis. And with that, oh man, what a show today. It's still almost 3 hours. At least I'm getting paid adequately for it. All right, that's it for today. Let's, if you love your custom cards, and I know all of you do, gonna be here weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we do the shows. And thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even sometimes super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks so much, Coffee Crew, for being here. Not only for contributing cards, but also your colorful commentary, and always to point out when I screw up. People like Steve Cooper and KenCon and To Damn Draws, Brandon Pedgeman, Nightmare Incarnation, for Ginka, Christopher B, Taylor. We got Sage, Bryce, Demanger, Peter, Pabno. We got Bell, Winterfox. Yeah, of course, we have to thank Winterfox. Who else do we have here? Mappius. Who have I missed? The Jaded, Z-Man Vader, Mr. Fellblood. Because you all got, I think I got you, the Demanger as well. Yeah, thanks, Nick and Nerds. Dorks, Nerds, and Geeks everywhere. Whatever you identify with. Keep bringing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will, of course, see you at the next cup.